use of it. And even the likes of All Gamers, you look at their placement points, they have 12 placement points total. One chicken dinner over the course of 5 matches then. That means they got 2 placement points. That is abysmal if you compare it to their Chinese counterpart of Tiamba.
Yeah, and when it comes to AGAL, this isn't just huge for them, it's also huge for their entire organization as a whole, because, you know, we got the Esports World Cup going on right now, and they are really pushing their PUBG Mobile team to pop off. So the fact that they did, especially here towards the end, was so crucial for their squad, right? So dang close in the middle, it's literally anybody's game.
Super close. Honestly, super close. Even if some of these teams don't end up getting a chicken dinner, if they're able to manage a top 5, especially in Rondo with what we have seen from some of the other squads, where multiple squads are able to get 10 or more eliminations, that leaderboard is going to be shifting throughout today. And before we actually keep on talking about some of these teams, I know Lace back in the studio just feeling cool, calm, and collected. They want to talk about some other teams.
Yes, thank you so much, Seven, and welcome to the Cozy Corner, where we're about to spill the tea for you, joined by Kalaris and Jackie. Now, Kalaris, you had a nice little conversation with Yangon Galacticos. Spill the tea for us.
I'm concerned for them, Lace, honestly, because coming into today here, last day of survival stage, they are the defending champions. However, when talking to Smile about how things maybe go from last year compared to this one, they want to try and mix in some kind of aggression in order to be able to keep up with this lobby. I don't think it's kind of mixed in just yet. I think they're going to have a very hard time mixing it in when they've won the previous year off some passive play. So it's going to be difficult here for a return championship performance.
I mean, I have to agree. And, you know, a lot of the teams that we sort of put in that passive play style have been kind of gifted zones, and I haven't seen really YG get that kind of zone gifted opportunity. So I must agree with you there. Oh, the tea has been spilled. Now, Jackie, we have E-Arena. They were heavy hitters in our group stages. They've kind of gone like that middle ground now. Spill the tea.
All right, yeah, I've already poured mine out when James was doing his bid, unfortunately, so it's all over the floor. So mind your step, guys, especially if you're in the arena here in Paris. Yeah, I think you're spot on, Lace, right? It's one of those where they are a good team, and obviously this was the Rondo game where it really opened our eyes to this event. We're thinking, oh my God, no one could even really contest them. I think all of the eliminations they got, if I'm not mistaken, none of them were respawns as well. Basically, right? So it was pretty much a clean run of just pure dominance. They weren't contested. That's the difference. The longer the tournament's gone on, I feel like teams are just coming back against them, James.
When you kind of have these incredible high highs, again, to break record in terms of all of PUBG Mobile history, to then have the kind of performances that they've had so far. It's funny because when I spoke to them right after this, they said, lucky. And I was like, no, not lucky at all, not lucky at all. But now that I'm looking at it, I think to myself, after all the other games, I'm like, okay, maybe there is some truth to that. And I don't want that to be the case, because the arena has been able to show this incredible kind of performance.
I agree, and after like an interview that they had yesterday, and they were saying like, you know, we're not really getting that kind of, that gateway to be able to take it. And I kind of compared it to Furia. Furia were aggressive, and they're making those sorts of plays, and they're getting those points. If we can just see E-Arena return to the aggressiveness, let's go. Really doing that, I believe, is Furia, where they're actually hunting down their plays. I think if E-Arena can adapt to that, they'll be the second kind of team doing that aggressiveness.
The main concern is that they, yes, right now they're currently in that top 5, right? However, the mid pack is so close and all the way down to 15th place, basically, Jackie, that anybody from those positions could quite easily jump up with just one game alone and knock them out of that top 5 instantly.
And I think that is why it's so tumultuous right now, because obviously we've seen it's not that consistent from them, right? So how do you fix that in the space of one day? 6 games left to go. Fear starts to kick in when other teams are rising their skill level as well. It feels like everyone's getting a bit better the longer the competition's gone on, especially in survival stage, where our top squad's out of the running. Yeah, it's just a bit hard out there, Lace. You can cut the tension with a knife.
And we can cut the tension with our teas. Guys, great job. That's been the tea from the Cozy Corner. We're going to throw it over to Glitter with the CC update.
As we head into the last day for survival stage, it's time for another CC storyline check-in. Because we're focusing on 2 teams today.
survival
We've got
stage.
Esports, who are in the top 6 right now. And if we were to do some quick math, hypothetically, if they could win the entire event, they would jump from 17th to 6th place on our CC leaderboard. But the even bigger storyline is, of course, AGAL. Team at the top of the CC leaderboard right now finds themselves in survival and in 9th place. So not only are they not safe, they haven't guaranteed their place into finals. It's very close, though. We have them at 32 points right now. They're only 7 points behind 6th place at 39 points. And GK Esports, like I just mentioned, they are at 41. Suffice to say, it's a very close lobby right now, which means 6 matches they played today are very important. We're going to be checking in all day long to see how they're doing, keep you up to date with all these storylines. And at the end of it all, we'll see how it plays out.
Thank you, Glitter, for that CC update. Yeah, the CC update is going to keep on getting even spicier, especially as we get closer and closer to the weekend. But something else that we actually need to start talking about, because you mentioned it earlier as well, Max, is just player performances. With what we have seen now multiple 1v2s, 1v4s. Dukes, Milu, great cast, by the way, yesterday. It's been all over Instagram using that hashtag.
It was insane. I mean, that 1v4 was so wild to see, and it just really invigorated that whole squad. So these players are really going to have to start popping off here. Like I said, Milu, 18 eliminations, QZZ with 15. They have the top 2 performers so far. Going on down, you have Leparkin from RRQ with 12 eliminations. And surprisingly, right below him, Necessary from the Wolves, all right? So it's good to see the Wolves, you know, on the top of the leaderboards or something. Hopefully we can see them here at the end in the top 6, but they're going to have to do a little bit more work. But one team in particular that I got to look at is Alpha 7, okay? Looking at their player stats, you have Guizhou in 6th with 11, who's actually the top performer for A7 here, right? Where's Carrillo? Where is Rebel? They're down in 11th and 19th, so these are 2 squads that definitely need to start popping off quick here, Neptura.
No, they really do. I've been looking at A7, right, because this team, we expect so much from them. We know so much about them, and yet they're doing nothing of what we expected them to do, to be honest. They're so hot and cold, and yes, the stats do match up to a fairly decent day, right? I mean, we did see some great stuff here from Revo, Guizhou here with a lot of damage, a lot of elims coming through, but it is just so sad that we're seeing a hot and cold situation coming on through here, because, yeah, you've got those splits and the defense is really good. You've got, you know, good opportunity taking, good rotations, but when they try and take these fights, they just go in one by one, and it's odd decision making from such a top tier team.
Yeah, you can see actually Guizhou is going to be the top performer for the team, which is very cool to see the new blood of that squad do so well. But actually, I asked Revo yesterday, just before my segment with Kalaris on the stage, and Nuth was set to play because he's like the Rondo guy. And I believe because of that, they're going to put Nuth back to play onto Rondo. And who knows, maybe some of the fewer angles because he's such a new player here in the scene. So Nuth, I think, has a lot of potential, but it does kind of take away some of your team synergy when you add a player literally last second.
The thing is, not only that, especially when you put him at this kind of stage, we tend to have very big tournaments, and this is one of the biggest tournaments for PUBG Mobile esports throughout the year, and usually the pressure ends up getting to them. Quick, who's going to be getting the first win? Predictions time.
Oh, survival
I think it's gonna be Furia.
Furia?
KRX, come back.
KRX, all right. I'm going to go with none other than Alpha 7. But it's time we see who's actually going to be getting that first win. Put in your predictions in the chat. Use the hashtag EWC or EWC26 if you end up using social media. But it's time. We start the final day of Survival Stage. PMWC at EWC26. Here we go, baby.
Here we go, baby. Here we go, baby.
Mesdames et messieurs, welcome to the last day of our survival stage. Today, there is no chance for like a second chance, basically. Today, it is do or die.
We began this journey with 32 teams, and after today, just 16 will remain in the fight for $3 million and the stunning PMWC trophy.
Yeah, but buddy, remember, 10 team will see that he destroyed their hopes and dreams, falling straight into our crusher.
The tension in the air is palpable. The spice levels have been dialed from medium to hot, and the energy in the Gadia City grid, it's electric. And so, it's time to meet our survivors one final time to the main stage, starting with Kiwoom DRX.
DRX! 있는 것이 이거 그래도 꼭 특별히 이유가 있는 끼는 꼭 도마대로서 많이 서바이벌 리더보이
721 GS Esports.
Tigi sung kok na le di bakta try ba yan mo jo. Landro.
Al Ula Club Esports.
Tikse kay tikse. Monetization to yang monetization to tu ba. Ado ini da. Ay monetization to sang gel. To ini da. Kalau to sang gel mo bara. Tikse sang sugar ni do la pering si dia. Bahkan pai de.
Good team.
Kalau to sang gel mo. Bara bilu. Kikau do ba.
Ulf Esports.
Ay, anda loktak to ko sa kani, loktak ta lek pa adugi chat to ko pa ko live thala pa rin si. Chat pa ko pa adan live ko pa ma pun ko lo live tha tham ni ki.
Team RRQ.
Oi naman. Ang tikta bo ko sa bro.
Esports.
Ari di male maduay. Tandre hai live ta la ko. Live ta la ko.
Shim Red Force.
Ni orang ba orang ko ra sa khang di. Sa na tandre. Let's go very Roddick. Padahal din ay follow to ay kick follow to sa lawan. Ay kick follow to sa lawan. Ay kick to 30 follower yo ko to amang tangay lang niya. Ado yun follow to lang ay. Kick to. 30 follower yo ko. 200 follower yo ko kan nila. Man monetize to ko. 200 follower ko yo ko dum. Oren 500 oren view ko yang pala kan de. Tahu lang. Tinggi kok lah kan. Gitu yang tahu. Pada Mugabe, thank you to Joel. Main tahu guys. Oh my god.
Every decision, every clutch can change your team's fate. You've got just 6 games left to prove you deserve a spot among the best in the world.
The finals are on the horizon, but who has what it takes to claim the 6 places that remain? It's time to lock in and find out.
200 monetize rồi nhỉ. Buồn đấy dòng sản lượng monetize cho thằng cái đó. India cái ông rồi, rồi cũng mà India cái ông thì ngasi nó phải, tôi ngasi nó lùi rồi. Qualifying, ngasi JX lấy hậu vào đâu ngasi top 6 lấy hậu vào gì đó. Top 6 thì không có cái đấy mà khác lấy hậu gì đó. Mấy hôm hành rồi. Ngasi nó phải là, mỗi ngasi attack này cái đấy ngasi nó phải là. Bạn nó attack này cái đấy.
Basically, Bunny, anything can happen.
With a big chicken dinner and a side dominance in the lobby, it's not going to be so easy.
Today, you want to fight smarter, adapt faster, and deliver when the pressure is at its peak.
Welcome to the survival stage of the BMWC at EWC 2026 in Paris.
Cái nó sản rồi team Tara thì mấy hôm về ngasi. Ra tournament gì vậy?
Diabba's back to back. 3 players versus 2. Joker off in the distance, but there's one in the smoke dealt with. And the Q-Set relies on his teammates.
Có đây là hậu có đây là final rằng đấy. Thằng chính tới cái final hậu đây là ngasi qualifying. Ngasi top 6 to juga có đây là top final rồi. Ngasi top 6 có đây là top final rồi.
Chicken dinner. This is brilliant. There's really not much more for them to do here. Obviously, he wants to try and hold his nerve in the face of Alpha 7, but they haven't lost a player yet, and they're not about to start now. Carrillo able to find the final shot, and there's a bird down on the last player for the South Korean side. I think that's by far the cleanest take we've seen in the competition.
Ay di VIT na team Vitality na kaya Indonesia.
Kevin moving up with that almost blown up vehicle here. They know that they are bleeding. Obscure up, trying to make a play all by his lonesome self. The Revo goes down, and now they're gone. DK said,
it's done.
Yeah, see you later, Alpha 7. This is all to win.
Top 6 ka naman. Group A gabi dagi mga lakot na tara lay na. Si dagi tarok lakot pero team tara tarok sa na. Ya maso taang mo tong ko. Yan.
We know it's Tion, but we want to slow them down, and RRQ are looking to do it here. Pushing up close to first one.
Ahiga sa photo gabi no. Ito mo ahiga. Ya game niya game loy na sang rebo ani magsang rebo. Price kaya game mo si price 28 crore rồi mà chưa price. 28 crore price rồi.
A desperate last moment dash coming in now for our teams with 6 more matches to play. We are going to be heading straight into Rondo to kick things off. It is all to play for. More 1v4s? I hope so.
I hope so too, man. I mean, the 1v4s yesterday were pretty mad. Milu made that one look incredibly easy. Overall, just very, very excited to jump into the final day of survival. Before we head over towards those finals, let's find out who our top 6 will be, which 10 teams will be sending home, because this is the most brutal stage thus far. Tiamba right now on an average damage count of 758 damage per game, but it's the average survival time, which is just disgusting at a whopping 27 minutes and 38 seconds. When roughly most games end at the 30-minute mark, we are making it pretty much right to the end every single time. Slightly different story here for Arena, John, making it fairly far in, but we're lacking on those elims. It has been less aggression coming through from Arena.
Yeah, and I mean, those 2 minutes are pretty important as well. Yeah, towards the end of the match, always those 2 minutes equate to maybe like 5 placement points, essentially, when you're getting down to the wire. Every single team will know the importance of just going those few minutes further, deeper into the game. Alpha 7, they definitely want to try get up towards the top 6, break into it solidly. They are there currently, but you know, keep that momentum going and to be able to sow the seeds of victory.
Yeah, they were able to penetrate into the top 6 yesterday, which is fantastic for them, but it came at a cost, right? There was a lot less aggression coming through from them. They were relying on lucky games, and I think for them, I'm hoping that yesterday was a bit of a wake-up call. I hope they got back and they weren't happy with that top 6. That's what I'm hoping for right now for Alpha 7. I'm hoping they go back to their old antics, a little bit more aggression, a little bit more speed, velocity in these matches. That's what makes them them. And I truly believe if they continue playing like this and they do make it through to the finals, it is going to be a bit of a wash for them. This team has a lot more to give, but this year it's just not been it. Anyway, let's drop in with some of our other teams. Wolves right now, it's just not working. It really is not working for them at the moment at all. Again, that cohesion from yesterday, not quite there. Feels like some of the rotates towards the end game feel a little sloppy. But honestly, I do think that they have some strong players on side. I mean, Elementrix really impressed me yesterday. Overall, I still think that this guy is one of the strongest players from that team, and is a really strong contender here at PMWC, at EWC. But the individualistic nature of teams just does not work anymore. Everyone needs to step up. That's the thing of the past.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's something we've been saying for the last sort of probably few years now at this point, right? You do need to have all cylinders firing to make sure your engine's pushing as hard as it can. And it's potentially something for a couple of our other teams to be considering. We talk about star players quite a lot, and I feel like Ulf and Nongshim both have their star player on side, and Eren and Hyunbin respectively. They do need to have the rest of the team with them. We have seen that for both of those 2 rosters, though. I'm hoping for a lot more. I like the brains on Nongshim, and I feel like Ulf can step forward, but it's the top 6 as the target as we break into the day with our first match. It is brutal as always. Rondo
is where you can gain the points. It's where you can get those eliminations. It's where you can set yourself up with a 39-point game and still fail to qualify for the finals. But right now, this could be the difference between you and top 6 and staying there. For some teams like Nongshim, Red Force, they could grab themselves a massive game from top 6. They're currently in 6th place, could rocket themselves up towards the top of the leaderboard. Tiamba, however, I think their momentum is legendary coming in from day 1. I don't think they're going to be stopping anytime soon. They're feeling good about themselves. Milu was practically beaming the entirety of the day yesterday. I think that's going to be the case here. They're going to have a fun time with this one. Team's got to be scared.
I mean, if they could break up towards 90, maybe even towards 100, very reasonable for them to be able to do that today. They're going to be locking down those spots. The question will be who the other 5 teams will be going with them. I mean, already as it stands, it kind of already is the question. We'll see if they're going to get stuck in nice and quickly here, because Yulin is very close to the playing path flank. Neox Factory a little bit further afield, but can still be a target. The teams don't want to get stuck in right in the thick of it. Yeah, Yulin definitely in a position that most teams will be dropping towards here. Neox is a bit of a meander, right? It's a bit of a walk through, so Yulin's going to be very hot at the moment. Doesn't really support as many teams. So you are going to see things start to pop off very soon. I almost want to come off the map feed right now and just go straight to Yulin, because it's going to be absolutely hectic in that location going forward. We can always take a look later. I think right now we want to see what happens there. Who's going to profit the most in that location? We're heading down towards THANKG. Come on, I beg. Come on, guys. Let's get off this. Let's get towards Yulin. People are already going down. All right, Nocturne Red Force, Tizzy, first of all here. But it's Tiamba opening the boat towards North already. And Alpha 7 looking to profit. Furia going at it with the knife there. Taken. That strike over towards Nocturne Red Force. I think the majority of Nocturne Red Force have gone down. They're going to look for those recalls on the outside. Wolves going low. Furia similarly cut down to 1. We've already had 3 teams basically fully lose on this hot drop. It's looking like we might get another one. Going low, going down, and Maple, a powerhouse on side, already stepping up to the fight with Goat Team as Foopsman goes down on the off angle to a shot from, I think that may have been for Scarface. Oh no, Kedge. I mean, Kedge as well as Wrestle Alpha currently taking down 2 separate teams. This is why I wanted to get off that map feed straight away, because this is an incredibly dense hot drop over towards Yulin right now. So many teams on the outside. RRQ also looking inwards, but they are trash loot for the time being. Galacticos defending champions here now to get a little bit more done. But it's AGAL who came off the back of a big win yesterday. Final Miramar now looking to set themselves up for success towards the end game. They've already got themselves 2 elims. They want more than this. Getting a big points buffer at the start of the day where they had kind of a shaky start yesterday is going to be a really big boom for them going forward. Hopefully trying to levy that one, get that one on side. Scarface stepping out for Ulf, gets across, uncontested right there. Sportsman at the back line. They didn't see him cross over and he was caught unawares. A lovely layer down on the DP there. And pushes him back, leaves them a little bit worse for wear. Arena just took down their outpost, honestly, for Ulf. So Solus actually out over towards that northern side. He's Ulf in kind of an awkward situation now. It's do or die for them. They are all inside of Yulin. There is no one on the outside edge. Ulf could go down right now. They're starting to play a little bit more passive now. This is a good approach for them. They're going to play towards the border and figure out an exit. They can move out towards the east here, though, John. That's a possibility. It's in the direction of the circle, but you're going to have to give up eliminations for that. Are they willing? And they also don't have vehicles here, Blank, right? They got stuck straight to the hot drop. They're expected to be able to regroup later on as Maple goes down. Thierry able to hop in through the window and get that flush. But yeah, for Ulf, it is pretty dire. Aaron has managed to find a vehicle there and does get on the road heading south. Might crash in towards PK as they move up to potentially pinch this one through. So danger for Ulf on all fronts. I mean, you're absolutely right. That Arena flex out works really very well. And that's going to slow things in Yulin down.
But that feels like a bit of a misread coming through from Ulf. Honestly, for E-Arena, it was clear before the tournament ever started. They tend to go for this big old trash loot drop over towards stadium side. They don't just stay in stadium. They like to have outside outposts. And for Ulf there, that's a little bit of a poor read in my opinion. And Solus pays the price for it. And for a hot drop there, which could have been absolutely monumental, because Scarface was certainly feeling it. Suddenly you're having to leave some of these eliminations on the table. Quizout fight taking from Tiamba. And E-Arena looks to send out over towards the northwest side. RQ moving down towards the southeast. Looking to poke their nose in over towards Yulin, but we're on board with Fury. Another team that did fantastically well yesterday. Right now, Ayala, one of the top players, currently down. We're in ball with the coach corner. They look happy at the moment for Fury.
We'll see for how long. They're going to be holding on the inside. Arena, I was pointing at it for you there. They were jumping onto the Alpha 7 solo, who they've just taken down as well. So Alpha 7 now in in this Yulin hot drop in a crucial route out. They need to try and find it, or it could be all over for them. Very, very difficult.
Thank you for the 100.
Whoa. He will be able to shut it down. Furia keep themselves going. The engine is roaring.
Once again, Igor's a great approach here from him. Keeping things going, like you say, Guizao on the exit. GK, Ragnarok is in front. Lepar takes a lot of damage. Ragnarok just gets fully melted, just crushed underneath the bonnet. We'll just get the reset on that one and go for the revive, but all right, I mean, that's how you do it if you squeeze out 7 eliminations. What a dangerous game right now for Alpha 7, yet they've come away with 7 eliminations. But hell, John, this is good for Alpha 7. This is what we want to see. I don't want to see you guys going center early on. I want to see you flexing that close quarters combat. This is very promising. Very, very promising.
The Arena have been an absolute nightmare for the solos on the north side. They've got and sent a duo down to 1 recall tower. They took a solo out. They've sent it to another recall tower. It looks like they might have been trying to catch out a player from Alpha 7 again on that egress, but Guizao does manage to slip the Arena now sending a duo in towards Yulin itself.
Playing spoiler here. The Arena, I mean, it's a good play, right? The closest red beacons on that northern side where the approach is good outside of Yulin is around stadium area, and they maintain most of the control of the back of those drop spots. Pulling this out on day 2, interesting strategy as well for E-Arena, because they clear out suddenly a lot of space, and then they
thank you, DTM, for the 20 jewel.
And they might
thank
just
you,
be getting
brother,
full squads.
for the 20 jewel.
Trying to find the dregs,
1
the
K
remnants.
diamond,
Interesting
all
that
of
Guizao heads
us
up to their original backup recall tower on this spot, instead of going a little bit further west or maybe even breaking further south. But Alpha 7 will be able to get back to full 4, and already 8 eliminations on the cards for them. Blank of nice early bolstering. Rebel very much trapped inside of Yulin at the moment, but as a solo he will be recallable.
A lot of teams they needed to get themselves going. They need to get those wheels spinning, and you can spin at home yourself with the Lucky Spin here at 2026 for the PMWC. You can draw the exclusive 2026 PMWC tournament set, which you'll be seeing all in game. Fantastic set overall, very, very cool stuff. But make sure you do get those spins in whilst they last. They won't last forever. Make the most of the master here. Here's a little replay. Okay, necessary with a nade. Okay, just steps out for the spray down.
Masama susi fighter ko yan ba? Oh, masama susi fighter ko.
Together here they are in currently 4th place, and a lovely 2-piece coming through from necessary on side. It's been pretty good for the squad. Next circle comes on through though. Blank shifts up towards Danching.
But Dopeness, they've pretty much been here the entire time. Feels like a very, very classic thing coming through from Dopeness. Every time, like you said, they had to leave some of those points behind there. They were a little bit worried, not as courageous as, let's say, Alpha 7. So they moved down towards Tuling. Res off there, got all 4 players back up again. They got a lot of loot as well, I imagine, as they shifted over towards the eastern side, understanding that with the
sign in, need to sign in.
likely not going to be a huge amount of teams in that spot anyway.
You need to sign in.
So a slight risk, but overall,
only with the Gmail.
Arena, finding
you can sign in with the
Gmail. AGAL piecing themselves back together, now rotating in from that eastern side. That is a weird and unfortunate rotate for them. Looks like they had to go very far to get the reset, which means they'll be likely playing edge later on. Revel finding easy with Bad Boy and instantaneously getting the flush. 9ing them so far. The team is bruised and bleeding, but they are still going.
And they've got all 3 of their players who were recalled up on that northwestern side, starting to make their way away from it with a little bit more loot, hopefully moving forwards with some sort of strength, but getting into the next zone may be tricky. Kind of only E-Arena sits on their side of the circle. Everybody else is just clumping straight towards that southwest side. And it's not looking so easy to try and navigate. RRQ wanting to navigate this compound, but it's not going so well. 721 GS with a little bit too tight of a hold on it.
Yeah, make sure they don't make that one happen. So interesting. I love being able to get the player cams with the phones in hand as well, just because we got to see E-Arena there and just the speed at which they're flicking between what were they doing in the current moment, what's going on with the current map situation, zooming in, out, seeing what res beacons are in play. It's a lot to take in on Rondo. Very, very difficult map to play, especially at this level where everyone is going to give you grief all over the map. They are not going to let you get that aggression going, not going to allow you to push in.
Thank you, Bim Bim.
Without any kind of comeback. RRQ does
Thank
move
you
towards
for
the
the
northern side,
20.
gets that reset. We'll start to move
chat.
down towards that south side. But you're right, we're over towards THANKG.
Thank you. One killer running shoe from the
bottom here.
To be Phuket same game.
And on the south side with one Elim, it's Chamber at the top of the table still. They've been
RRQ से फंसे थे तो यहाँ थी याद है RRQ से फंसे हुआ
over the course of this match, not wanting to get
फाइनल
stuck
देख क्या
in,
वो
but
फाइनल
actually
से
they were
थे
forced to be a
20
little bit more reserved,
sorry
so they
that
did go
14
down in the hot drop earlier on.
Yeah,
So
Final
they
that
are
14.
now playing not necessarily on the back foot, but certainly not from a big win on this engagement, like Alpha 7, who have managed to transition away from their game. They're all the way up on that north side there. You can see the backstop for E-Arena, who spent a long time getting away from Stadium. But the circle sends to the north side of THANKG, and all of those teams that committed south blank, they're not going to have to reconsider. There's a
lot of position to play on this north side.
Actually,
the most interesting spot at the moment is sort of that dead land, which has a fair few compounds that sit through it. You can kind of fight down, you can have, I would say, probably 2 teams there, and then you can play out towards the northern edge slightly, where the forest currently sits. Claus does find QZZ. Kind of an unfortunate timing on that one. Seattle's going to look to try and just break out through towards that northern edge. But oh my god, it is clustered right now in THANKG. Lots of teams want to get a move on. Control that res beacon over towards the north side would be a big deal, but you've got Yangon Galacticos. They are flying in towards that. RRQ are looking for that position, as well as Alpha 7, who did get themselves a little bit of a lucky break, the fact that this circle went north, but I think that they've battled for this, and I don't think that I'm too unhappy that they get a little bit of luck here towards the middle of the game.
I think they're going to be able to get to that recall tower before Yangon Galacticos. Unfortunately, it is pretty closely fought though, and they might want to just set up for it. RRQ could third party, but the brunt of it will fall on Yangon Galacticos right now. And Yangon maybe actually looking to send even further on and not get stuck into this fight at all. The recall tower being available for just under 4 minutes now, blank remaining. It is going to be a powerful asset on side if you can keep control of it.
World Cup football World Cup की type है.
Like I said though, you can see here you've got Alpha 7 controlling the northern portion of these compounds, and then down towards the south side you've got Yangon Galacticos. Outside of that though, it's very open.
28 crore की.
Most teams would probably like to play over towards that
28
northern
crore
edge,
price.
where there is the
price pool
woods
in
you can play
28
around.
crore.
There's some rich sides
Victory amani consolation price हाथे.
But oh my god, a lot of teams just
That's a
ends up over towards
Pachama ani to zero.
Very, very packed in there. At least 5 teams in THANKG right now. Making Kike's game really, really difficult. I feel like Kike have been punished at every single turn of this match. I think that if we got a count of who's been eliminated the most, it would be fairly populated by Kike players in this game. Time and time again. Pretty sturdy stuff. But the Wolves look to drag on the northern flank. Alpha 7 in the meantime still just holding on.
Shamble towards the center. Sink their teeth into it, see what they can get done here versus the Wolves, because the Wolves having a decent game. I mean, 8 elements so far, depends how quickly they go out in the near future though. They send a little bit further towards that north side, maybe try to isolate the western portion of the circle by off the back of the small mound. Teams are happy though, teams are very happy in fact. We are heading back down towards THANKG. Goodness me, all that work to try and find a position there for it to only go north.
Price I think kick followers in price give away to get guys tournament guys I think kick the follow to win kick the follower I the 200 follower to your game
in the vicinity
200 follower to your game
The inside negotiations give away to it's the south side that we hopped on towards here. Team in Alula that is going to have to move. It's going to have to get dynamic. Ulf could potentially bear the brunt of the pressure. Could get third partied. The west side as well. And 721 GS have to move on in as well. I feel like that may be a little bit of an easier approach in the
meantime.
DK continue to tear limbs away from themselves. They drag their form in towards THANKG. And they lose Ragnarok.
KRX they win KRX can call him
Easy Van Boy looking for that cheeky angle around the aircon unit.
KRX maning
Almost. THANKG underneath. Ulf taking a little bit of punishment over towards Go Team. They have the inside edge, so it's quite surprising that Go is taking the fight to them so well. Alula, R3B. We'll find a shot of towards
but I
feel like Douglas outside of some of the
good games
Not quite there. Hold off the onslaught. By the way, from the area near Go Team went straight to land on their feet. Go Team similarly by the team, but Ulf right now on their last player alive on the something awful. Those recall towers are shut down now, Blank, as well, which means that you are back to their feet if you go down with Ulf just on solos. Go Team getting those reses on that angle. It looks like they may be able to stay alive as 4 after a crash onto Ulf.
For Solus, I just don't see him as the guy anymore to get that 1v. What is it now? Very, very interesting stuff. I'd love to see a replay because Go Team thank you. A much easier fight there for them. They have had a tough approach to this game. A lot of it has been on the back foot so far. But now Go gets to move on as a 4-man.
A massive boon to them on that south edge. The north side starting to get a little bit more tense as well with non-Red RRQ all to try to figure out how they can step forwards. 721 GS trying to move around on that north side as well. Closer to that. And will be and they're trying to crash onto the DK position as well.
Official EWC
You see Noxian Red Falls on this north side where the circle now shifts
towards.
That becomes a very prevalent area of the map. There was not a lot going on.
20 seconds
out from the next circle, you don't really want to get into a big engagement just so you can quickly move out.
I
believe that Alpha 7 was trying to hang on to this location on that northern side while still pressuring Noxian Red Falls. However, this required a hard shift over towards the goal. I am confused.
I mean, Alpha 7.
70 dito parang siya
I know we think one of those nades there. Lula will back off, try to get close back on his feet, but Samji is fully flushed out in the meantime. Goats are moving in. Get a good amount of damage done, but Irina's already sent out over towards that northwest. They get into an altercation with Irina. Where is the aggression? This is Go, honestly, is doing exactly what I want to see. They should hear this engagement towards the northern side. Would not be surprised if they try and push this one.
Ay, follower 200 head yauba na. Kali mga CC follower 200 euro ba? Adoy tadi ngasi magtawid. Jiwes. Tournament si heglu ba na? Hindi mo do 1k give. Pero dum taw for
Okay, this is good news.
Giveaway lucky draw yan tawag ko. 1-0 ni kayo na suna kan ka tawa. Pero na ako kan kick to live thari ba. Ay na pin daw iba. Ay na pin daw thamba kick to. Aw da so live thari ba. Kick to live thaba gi adu da live thari na giveaway tawag ito ba. Ay to. Lupa lising nga may giveaway tawag ito. 200 follower hek yaw ba. Kasi tang tha tang ai ba. 200 follower hek yaw ba giveaway tawag ito ba. Adu gi suna kan thaba gi quality hai ta. Silazu edge lock pera sida dilaw kano tadi kick tadi kan advertisement ang talaw kick yang nungai ba kick yang nungai ba mai di advertisement yaw di advertisement ang yaw di kick yang nungai mai di advertisement jeron
But everybody's holding their corner.
Very likely I
feel like AGAL may have the better time of it. A nade over the road from R3B.
China follower to eh. Mari mai kan tok sing to. Kick ne to dia rane. Pero sorry, kurang Adi ba na ka phai ni yang kina dia rondo se game sana ba nungai ma le ai kang ki koi recall ba yaw ni da koi nungai ba ni ai kya rondo sana da ai ya kya de ki le ko kam na me am jo Hop the hell, you can do that. Left right hard. What? I'm going to
Didn't trust.
Oh, damn, you can left right target.
He's quick to finish it. Understands the demon
I
inside.
see out here.
He needs exercise.
Thank you.
Goodness me. There was a moment there. It felt like maybe
Thank you.
Malik was going to do something magnificent, but was put down. Losing 3 of their players. They would have had a great time, but now it's quick against He's already managed to bearing down upon him. There goes the push. And he's still got a little bit more to say. The end of the story, not quite yet. Quick, dashes out, and the pin keeps spraying him down.
Yep, common misconception. Can't get out that window. It is barred off.
Kalau kaya suara kaya Google dan mangala ye. Oh, nang Google mangala ya. Follower je, ay 40 to 50 ketemu su tengah ini. Follower yang jauh tu. Aku nak follower tang yang lepas maya live. Foto sendiri. Follow kita untuk sendiri mau naik tu. 200 pau ni ngasi yok sen bangam ni ngasi follower 200 follower yok ngam kan. Ngak kai tu.
And this is what you want to see from a team like this. They have so much control.
It's
a team on 3, not likely to get too much more done. Milu is not flush, leaving only Eagle left alive.
Second third ni Brazil loyo male. Pero sorry, second ka third kasi kanu yin dari kamu. First kito
they will go out in 9, so not a single play.
Asia masara wo punto ko.
A good amount of elims on the game
Yan
regardless.
ba?
8 total.
South Korea ra China ra mo China ra kan mo punto.
Over towards the southeast.
Kiki follower ki we oi doira. Na taraga song bi si yaw doira. Kick katang gini badara mo. Sida yung missing si Loy na tawra di ngambay ay kayo. Let's get sure again bro. Let's get sure bro. First match rondo first. NS Loy le NS Loy ba.
You highlighted it. You said it's what you wanted to see. Eagle wants to see red.
China ni me 2-3 Brazil ni bro. First kasi kan Brazil. Yan mo Brazil.
Said yesterday they were able to get themselves
Yan mo
a nice little chicken dinner at the end of the day.
China ra South Korea ra Brazil Loy le.
Coming off their performance throughout the year, PL, PMI was not meant to be though. It's been a bit of a rocky start for them.
Tare tawra bane yan. Yes, thank you Bem. Tikta tawra karna
no smoke.
Pan mahin bro.
They had to go on a 2-2 split here, so at least
Tikta lang la pa tare. Tikta tawra.
As well as Flower.
Menje kapang ngamoy na
Alpha 7 is
Paano yung
casualties on this northern edge. Yangon Galacticos
yan betul China ni. Costa legit yan bro. Costa legit yan bro.
It was that early push that really
First
solidified
ka
the
second,
position.
second ka third ki wari ko chale.
For a long, long time.
Oh, second ka third ka di ba silver
just
mo?
hasn't given them much grief whatsoever, though.
First itiyan ba, second ka third ka ba?
But I would genuinely be
Second
happy
ka
to
third
see
ka
a
ba?
goat win on that eastern side.
Pero boy miss to wala.
Q being a little bit
Yeah, boy,
tentative. As you say,
Pero boy,
too
this
much
is
pressure onto
I
things.
mean,
Yangon
like,
Galacticos with only 3 elims at the moment, though, with 6 teams alive. Going down here would just not be a good enough performance for them, frankly, because they do need to jump up towards that 6th place to keep themselves in the running to defend their title here at the PMWC at EWC. And they are 2-2 split right now. Goat team resetting, lining up their cannons, trying to find a broadside. The question is, where do they go? Or are they going to wait for other teams to move around this one? Try and pick up some of the drags, because they've already done a lot in terms of isolating teams, in terms of moving this circle and being a playmaker within it.
They've pretty much been the sole playmaker, in my opinion, in this match. Like the way these teams are playing right now, it just feels like they're waiting for other teams to struggle against the circle. I mean, for instance, right here, Alpha 7, they have to move. RQ's not done much this game, but they're happy to punish. They have to head over towards the dip. AGAL now punish over towards Wolves, who sat in this location for a long time as well, not really done much off the back of it. They could have easily attempted to get in on the action as Goat went over towards Nongshim Red Force, but AGAL will take out the leader of Wolves. It's a weird endgame, John. A very, very weird endgame.
Yeah, so much commitment to the south side of Danqing so early on, but they are now looking for it to continue the open. Knockover towards the Yangon Galacticos position on the south point. This 2-2 split will make it resolute. Alpha 7 going to get pushed over the hill with an opening. They might be able to find something. RRQ descend from the eastern side and take on AGAL. Head to head, 2 versus 4. They like those numbers. They will be borne out in the result. The bar goes down, but that's going to be pick-upable.
Watch party the yin mana deda live the yin.
That's a real word.
Pick-upable potential.
Again, what's right?
Down towards that south side.
Watch party the yin mana live direct uji live hari betul. EMGC and okay. PUBG mobile da. Adugi channel live the yin.
Alpha 7 has to figure out something and
Squad
figure
mari
out
squad mari guys.
on this 2-2 split.
Don't
They should
you
be able to realize this by now. I don't know if they have any vehicles.
Squad
They
mari
need to smoke train over towards one of these buildings. A 3v2, very doable here, and will close off the sightlines from the rest of the Yangon Galacticos squad.
Karito na menu bro. PUBG mobile world champion
Team could crash on towards it.
PUBG mobile world champion.
For now.
World Cup ki type da.
RRQ
Hey bro. Martin,
they can get a little bit closer to this now. Black
RRQ se nahi sir laga.
though from across the way.
Sil laga lai
Will
rahe.
be immediately pushed. So Alpha 7 down to 2
Sil laga lai rahe.
quickly.
Oh, side sil nahi chale.
Shots now being lobbied over towards Goat Team on the western side.
RRQ na Hawaii ki pada bas player mein am ram mane kya
RQ
isa ti 2x yang apa kang player mana
Goat Team holding out RQ.
kita message lagi bene uyu be me uyu
Trying to get some shots over towards.
Not
for a single set. Just let Alpha 7 move freely here. It has massively slowed them down. I think they were coming into this end game with very few smokes away. The zone 9 now just hits. And we will be closing to center. Carrillo. Last nade. Has to be a big one, but I think at this point in time, it is the final hurrah from Alpha 7.
winner prize kaya no sige tournament sige wala din winner 28 crore winner ko na 16 crore prize na si winner final oh yeah keep count na pagdalay ayan final oh ito mo siya
but in a 2v2 against Yangon Galacticos, it's not
oh chungkore hoday na ay sobrang bigi
straight to the firing line, and that's the opener that RRQ were looking for.
Zone
pushes them further.
Starting to have to leave here.
Squeeze
the pressure
oh,
on. Moves out JS9 in play, but it's Go once again. Killer Joe at distance.
Smith to the cup no
Galacticos down to one final player. What can Mane do here? 60 bullets in
cô
a
nó chỉ cần ra cái thế là
A nade.
cô nó chỉ cần ra cái gì
Romeo, the blue zone's going to force him over the edge. He
Ô,
drops down.
cô
And
nó ra
down
cái gì
he
cần
goes. It is GOAT team going God mode.
They
Good
have to be
team,
happy
going
that
good
game. I
mode.
mean, the way that they're screaming the end of it, they deserve this match
Và giây kia nè.
more than anyone else. There was such
cái này gì mà
strong
các nó
gameplay.
pin đó thằng bấy
Everyone else in the lobby,
kick
it
xem
felt
nào
like
tao nó
God was
tổ
the
cái
only one
kick sẽ
carving
follow
their
tóc xem cái
own
nào rồi mà
legacy into
ấy
this
kick
match.
follow tóc sẽ lên tao muốn có thank you kick cái follow tóc kiểu vậy kick cái anh sĩ 200 follower yêu một cái giveaway tóc đây này sĩ lising ama gi pa 1000 rupees cái giveaway tóc đây này ba rồi na atau zoom mi chani khatang gi ne mi chani khatang yêu một đó 1k 2k 3k giveaway na te te only 200 follower đó rồi na how we have chance so am wang rồi na follow tóc sen bira mo ai gi kick sẽ tao nó tóc sen laga follow tóc sen bira kick 200 da yo sen mi cha me cái tang ai da yam kick to follow tóc da mi cha me cái tang ai go che kai lam gi no go che European country ko go ja la khang gi Russia ai go che Russia gi ni
Everyone is so afraid to get third party right now.
thank you for the 2 jewels for the sauce
That's what happens. The pressure is on. Goat's feeling none of it.
thang
Apparently.
ku
Well, yeah, they were just unleashed there. They were allowed to graze on any
good
pasture
evening
they
red
liked.
ai
There was
ai
just nothing
good evening
stopping
very
them.
ai
And you're
red
right,
me sai na
Q and
mat
Alpha
help
7
yam tau
on
gi
that northeast side around the Yangon Galacticos position that just
red ai
really
op
didn't push
me sai na
into it, didn't go for
kan
those
ozu
targets
kick
until
su
the
follow
Blue
tok
Zone
san
forced
bire
them to do something.
20
Yeah,
rupees
that
ki
was completely
super chain su
unfavorable
tok
to
salan
their
ne
longer-term
thank you
prospects.
It's very tentative gameplay right now from Alpha 7. And it's almost annoying for me because the beginning of that game, my God,
Oh, yeah.
I saw glimmers of the past. I saw the demon that used to be
और क्या
there
हैंगल
before
आगे
the
है
match
बड़ा बुम
descended.
फॉलोअर्स है 57 हो रहे
I want more of that. Alpha 7
Follower
looked
57 भी हो रहे
genuinely insane at the
yang
start.
selak ayam besok
Let's
ketengah
hear
selek
more
final
from
ngai bawa
Flores.
dah
What do you think about Alpha 7?
pada zero final dia ini ngai deh
Thank
ne
you very much, boys. Yes, once again here for the 100th
Ay,
time.
sakit
man,
kiling
with
thagi bani ay
Revo,
oh
as always.
aduh
Let's talk about that game, actually. Of
thank
course,
you
Goat
my
Team
friend
the win, but you guys were incredibly resilient in this game. You actually
kit kisah si 200 follower yo udah
E-Arena hunted down
Di bawah yang
Camille
top
and
tahu
was
ni
able to
sih.
take him down. Of course, then you
Kalau
were able to
masih
save Giz out to be able
200
to
follower
get
yang
the
nggak
result here.
yang
But what's
mereka
going
kan
through the
je
team's mind in that point? Because that's a scary prospect when you're in a hot drop in Yulin.
Yeah, I think we know that can happen. Like it can happen with everyone. So
final dah bro dia doi na
like
kong
a plan B to do
konser tong ni habis ni aja mana mana final tadi cinta dah mana
we did a great match.
Yeah, you guys have already told me, you told me especially that you were really good under pressure, and that kind of really exemplifies it. And speaking of pressure to continue on in the
ai
game,
ke account mga follow tau ram
in
bale
the late game, you guys
gung
go
gung
down
ke
to a
account
one player
kung
and
mga
able to
tau
get the
kanida
recovery back
tau
up
tu
to
ni dah
three
jadi
to continue things on. to
Padahal
eventually
bung
get
salam
that
tu so
nine
itra
legs
pau
in
tu
this
macam
game.
lesi mau
So
padahal bung salam tu lai
they
deh
go down to the one
bener je
again, and then they're able to recover to the
bener je
three.
padahal
What's
bung
going
salam
through
itu
the team's head
wale
in that moment?
padahal jail sing lai thank you
That means to be a Brazilian because
emote mayam je tau isyo kami je kik kinungai ba mai di emote mayam je tha bi ai ba emote mayam tha ba gi option mayam yaw ye ba
safe in
nungai bi ne ba toi je mayam di emote je yam de mi yam budi yam de dai kik te ying mi tara tari katang ne music lai kik
It's
sida
okay, we're gonna
ado
do it. We're gonna
emote
do it
mayam je
today.
line
So,
din
yeah, was that
ko kanik tha bi
Feeling good for a top six today?
agi
feeling good? I know
GIF
God
to
gonna
WhatsApp
give
to GIF
us,
shame ba do ado gi type
everybody five
am yaw bi
gonna
ne
be
ba
by God. So I trust
ai
him.
kong mga di follow to gra ba ne ji fajar hai padahal pun final dia koi lai kai na tau de lo re ji okay final di kanoda final di show lo ko da MNP na MNP final di MNP
Human body was built to move,
tak
not in one singular posture for 12
Padahal
hours a day.
cingsang lak ba follow to sendiri thank you
Time your chair
padahal cingsang lak ba
This is secret.
si debut hantai se kita yeng bai oi ni kita lao bra me kita lao di ne kita kena to selo ba kita follow to sendiri mo ba ber bisang thank you for 200 jewel bisan thangjam 200 ki jewel sate mi me thank you bada te kya lai ge si play manga lai di bada zero play manga lai play wali da final vitality na ai se vitality da di lai re support ki aurora na full kick ta yeng tha ge ai Baru Ken join. Itu ini yang darah dia. Full kick kan.
Hi, I'm here with Fire H from AGAL from the survival stage. I want to ask them a few questions about the tournament overall and see where they sit so far. So first questions first. You guys were 9 points away from qualifying through into the final. I wanted to ask you guys if there was any adjustments from the group stage that you could make, looking back at it to be able to go to the
follow 200 有几个得了这个戏啊？
我们现在在胜存赛当中有 AGL 的 Flowfish 给带来我们这次的采访。
让 camera thank you for the follow. Thank you so much, my friend. 其實這坑嘅小有嘅，這個坑嘅不得必須，特別睇到嘅要呢。而比賽 thank you for 200球，我進步來 thank you，大家這裡不是比賽200球差別不給。
其實當時知道差9分，其實挺。
零其實剩下那個 follow 到前邊了冇？
圈域其實也算很好的。
kick 是200 follow 但有的應該是就跟他到嘅到呢，叫我到嘅到呢。Thank you，不是比賽，我們睇下嚟。Thank you, thank you.
It was a pretty big disappointment to lose out with just 9 points, and honestly,
Nahallaga
the
yeng
circles
dong
were
ne
friendly to
mane
us. I
beres
think
yes.
that like luck was on our side, but
Tawar
we
yeng
just
dong
made a
kick
couple
tar.
mistakes too many. And looking back, you know, if we only just ironed out some of those
Fi
mistakes
fang
a little
zilla
bit
ni na
better, I think we
ayaw
would have
khai
gotten
thara
9
ni
points and
yes very
gone
sad.
straight into
Fi fang zilla bo.
Yeah, I think
Maybe.
you're right on that regard. Okay, so let's talk about
Fang
actually
mani
the
dong
last
bida.
game from yesterday.
Bara follow tau kau bani. Thank you, thank you.
It was kind of like lost Leona's finish.
Takat cari bela.
This can be very difficult for a lot of teams
Bro,
to be able to
kaya
go
nong
through,
bing
but
je
AGAL
pao
performed
top
it
player.
masterfully to be able to go from
200
golden to
sama
golden,
thasale.
really
Thank
get
you, thank
through
you,
to the
thank you,
middle,
thank you.
despite having to make a lot of movements. So, were there any
Bara bisana
big
mesel.
challenges that you felt like there was going to be there?
Follower jai ngasi jai 200 follower 都有成了個 giveaway 現在啱啱讀咗幾多年咁樣樣。
只是那个沙漠朵，而且那个圈都是在
那是呀對吧？是的，我會啲飛碰啲。
通常都是最困
反正來放了跟你的。
四面埋伏，
我就碰對吧？
到处都有
我等個碰一點。
但是你們確實
反正我的這邊要頭，要幾個不是？
最終成功的直擊了。那能不能跟我們說當時那
會的要不 qualify 是呀，那讓我們呀，我們參加了嘛，等到 qualify 為那個參加了已經。
就是比較。
讓我們呀，我們參加了個 qualify 為了幹的，我都不幹的。
當時的話應該是扎進去的時候。
Padahal Bung Salam di sana disco tau leh deh.
還好沒有掉人。
Thank you, thank you. Padahal 7 tapi bagi.
然後一步一步清一個邊出來，然後慢慢的往前推，往前打。
Well,
the one who is not lazy. Thank you, thank you. Padahal the one who is not lazy, padahal kick si follow tau sendiri mo download tau ka. Yang pick pen side. Login tau sa lagat kick si follow tau sendiri mo download. 200 follow tau 100 kaya yo lagi. 62 dia sa leh. Follower sih. Mana tau ni ngaji dah. Kita yang agak kikrawang sih dia Fazar. Kita yang kikrawang. Yang sana wajar. Kenapa tahu bre? Kita kerja. Waduh kita kerja. Kenapa tahu bre? Oh, gila chicken udah yang dari ini tuh nanti.
What clinched us the victory.
Live dia seorang kan lagi yang lain. Tahu kan ni yang baik, baru Santa Kill. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
A great merge of aggression in this game from Goat Team and also
thank
strong.
Thank you, baru
I do have this. I'm going to break down a play a little bit later on. So
Bisan with the 67 0. Thank you, Bisan.
Generally, the first time in this tournament, I have this team can actually maybe make a big jump at the top 6. And just to highlight what you said earlier, Seven, on the pre-show, the point gap is so minimal towards the middle pack.
Emoji mà làm cái lùi đến lại liền mà emoji chứ cái emoji nhau ra cái mà khăn cái emoji gì ăn đi nhau gì sang bang ngang ba khăn nhầm nhau gì.
To show that anybody with one decent game can jump all the way up. We will see that on the overall leaderboards. There we go. But yeah, Goat Team able to just grab this hilltop. I'm so excited that we actually got a zone here because
thank you for another 100 kita lah. Oh hey,
Goat handled it
apa
so
noise
beautifully. RQ as well. You're seeing there with Young Yangon. I was really happy.
But kick the follow token biram
second place. Yes, the zone was given to them a little bit, but they defended pretty well against RRQ, and we could see them take some shots towards other teams in the zone. So actually, I'm very happy with that.
I know 1000 ki giveaway ne bang si to du ja kick ki ja ado changa ani thong na mi ani oi to
GG.
Yeah, to be fair, it is really hard for Yangon Galacticos. They just had a fight with RRQ, and then you have
to
fight with RRQ and go for next. I understand that getting that win was not possible, but you know what? A strong second place, Yangon. Again, the point gap is so small that could put them really high on those rankings.
It is strong second place, and look at Go Team, 25 points, RRQ as well. A lot of the squads that actually needed the points. I'm looking especially at the one squad, and that's
thank you.
Showing up, and not only that, we got a chance to see Rebel showing what we know.
Yeah, I mean, look, it was kind of like such a beautiful start for them. They're just dropping slightly northwest of Yulin and not getting into that hot drop scenario. But what actually happened was the arena forced them out there to drop into the hot drop zone as usual. But you think that would be the downfall of them? No, the Beast has been unleashed and has come back to play today. He was able to drop 5 eliminations, holding off so many teams at this actually. I wish I grabbed the clip for you. Is pushing so much presence onto this team that their team like a very clear route for them to be able to sit on that northern side. And although they ended up as a draw in that final against YG,
thank you, the one who is not lazy. Thank you.
Like this is what we were asking for yesterday, and they've turned up today.
Yeah, throw away that card once again. Just make sure we stop hitting max because everyone's been but just talking about exactly talking about that gap of points. The GOAT team ends up pushing up all the way up to second place.
Nelson, thank you for 100 jewel. Nelson mayam di kano do kick ta loi lai re ai mathak ta pin doi je ni karo kum ki ge ji bara yai thank you
that Yamba was able to
score.
It's so true, but this
is Nelson mayam di kick ta loi na emoji tha sang le kick ta loi lai re du ra ni so ga ji da mi lai tri ai na manau no pa ne oh bara inshallah thank you
Yangon Galacticos with 44. The list
goes on so
close. So Goat may have
gotten the fast sticker y'all mali ne y'all gani fast sticker.
We still have 5 more matches to actually. It could go teams are not going to be happy where they are. The points are so close. It's anybody's game.
The board is going to be shifting. Okay, top 6 teams are going to be going towards the finals. But I do know that Go Team has been putting in the work. Maybe they've been listening to and they've been adjusting those rotations and trying to make sure they stay alive towards the end of the games.
As I said earlier, this is one of
the 60 ga 5 talk to the guy. Barun, thank you for the 100 jewel. Thank you, Barun. 100 jewel. Relatively, thank you. Thank you. Zubli or what? Barun, I can only I keep follow talks and be whatever. I 200 follower you with a giveaway with followers 65 tong su dang ai de yau de bit he the organizer sing je kai kana ka kai phangjan khong moi phang ngoni paisa phang ngoni
some teams onto the western side and they
occupy
occupy that as their main playing spot for pretty much the rest of
paisa phang ngoni mo organize to ira caster khatang ira
in the city itself. It's literally
ai na masamak ne ai di phajara ai na masamak ne ai
kind of situation.
Yes, but boni sakong chila le ye boy ya
team in the finals. I just
group ta tha ki bane group ta kai tha ki
10 out of 10 stuff.
And that's why Go Team,
with
the improvement that you've been able to do on that one, you get a for that one. Hopefully you'll be able to keep on getting
200 follower ma si yo han jirana khan sigi link okay. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. We're getting ready, and our teams, I feel like they're feeling a bit like that plastic chicken right now. A little bit squeaky, because it is getting a little bit later in the day with every single match. One opportunity
ai je handak loktak ai je handak loktak sakani ba June August loiram dai je August ki loiram dai natalga September hogalakpada loktak sakani ba khangba aw dai loktak sidagi chatkhido gari manung ju adum ai kano da kikta dum live thar dam ne a da bi da ni pochai leiba oi ba chatpa dagi hi to ga chatpa are a da leiba khotpa aduma oi live thaga ga IRL to dam ne IRL I was fit na to IRL to adi ta ta IRL to dam
It's tough. It is tough, and I understand the last game there's a lot of moving parts.
IRL to sirawa Kano loktak set lagi.
As Clark said, a lot
Loktak set lagi ISO speed kita ta IRL to sirawa.
I think they had the best start to that last game
Kai
than
dia
anyone else.
Ngai ram gela oi. Kai loktak tayo ba da?
Promising.
Pero sa CH na.
See what more they can get done. The Furia, on the other hand, another team that I did want to talk about. I think they went
live
down early in that last match.
Ai bro, live thar tang ai bro. Live thar ko ide. Lare left sida mi am lai tri je som kick ta loi lai de ba. Ai na ma ne thang ga dai ne. Wala sa si theng na se ti.
Should be in that top 6. I think they've
loktak to do bodi live thar ko ko ai ani da ngau kai de.
They are looking for a big win.
Ako ai sniper ke ai ti fazal.
In the year.
Padahal tayo na kena tahu lo Ay follow tahu lo Ay kick che follow tahu lo Subscribe che tok sila mo. Subscribe tayo yaw gri ba ni. Padahal tayo sa nga subscribe tok sila mo ay follow tahu lo subscribe tok sila mo. Loktak to ay koi di ne bro ay di pasay. Rasu bas. Kick ta lo ay na pin daw thami do. Ding ka ma. Aw de sanga ka mayam do. De sanga ka kaya to ko da bane do. Follow to ko da. Ay lagi mayam de ay handak loktak set lagi do. Loktak lambi lagi pot sa ilay ba. Soy bung ka yen tanga yang na pilay ba pot sa ilay ba. Oh na ay to ko da. Oh ya para ka ay to para ka. Ha kedo wa ata. Aman naman laga. Manaw da naman laga. Chilling fan delivery la loksen logi ke. Alaga isi isi ga follow to holo ke hangni ai di fazai.
It's been happening actually a lot more.
Halaga isa po ga follow to la ke. So na wala kan na. Halaga isa po ga follow to la ke abi. Masa po ga follow to la ke abi yaw ni tari. It's application na download to basu ya matro ya application na download to. YouTube kita ni tari. Kik download to kike to sa to. Yam sao da ni na pick ko ni. Ade ke hadi Bishimai gina. Bishimai ko bagi live live nga to ni ba US ki ISO speed ka lo se live to ne. Sige kano kick sila. Ay ha na kick siya to may mar to dilin bang da na kick sila dun yeng live yan. Tam koi bagi live mayam. Koi puna haron badi. Koi gine haida. Loktak to yung da. Pade. Hore ko guys, hore ko. Game hore.
Scattered across Gatka fields.
Will di kan nomine ay judi ba niya. Wala sa si thing na si. Ay to la ke to thing na ya. Pwede ama khakta ne to doi siya. Pwede ama khak ne to doi siya.
Make sure to draw that in game because goodness
me. Kaya ano sibo. Si group A ga B ga B dagi porak ko do. Ado do sida sanap. A ga B dagi porak ko do si final gi survival stage oina sana.
Very cute as well.
A7 ki JO ay pero sa bas A7 ki fan oile ra.
Try and pursue that one. Get your spins in, get on to the game.
Para NIV sorts ay gi kano sige link ka matlay do. Kick ano tharang sa pin do ka. Ado gi do kasi giveaway taw din ba do follow 200 follower yo ga. Ado 200 mi 60 mutang ay ado download to ga follow to send biro mo ne. Aw da lupa 1k power ya ba gi mi chani ka tang ni na chance lai da na. Aw na follow to send biro. Gorel le hawro bro gorel le hawdri da. Pero mo ne. Gorel final chang re. Gorel gi ani ma final chang re. Gorel ne India gi ani ma ai ba Gorel gi. India gi ma. Machine lure mo to sa ba machine lure. Ang chita gi kamo na.
and I
Ang
might
chitagi.
add quite loud.
Grand finale.
Oh yeah, but I am happy. You know, there is some rambunctious
Grand
support
finale.
for the squads.
Ang chitagi.
Absolutely.
Grand finale. Ay din.
Drums of war beating heavy on the
Grabe.
ears of our players. Well, hopefully not actually. They should
YT
have
mo.
ear protection on, so that should be fine.
Kick halle ay di pasare.
And they
Dago
will
de na.
show their support.
Kanam tawra ro ya di pasare. 1.5k tawra se ni agum khanna ba. Sare ti ko sare ti senpai de. T24 da mutorok. T24 la ko do da mukazuki ko yema mutorok. T20 hadaki August ki T24.
Start flicking through.
Awla su mugi wema ga mutorok.
You know, sometimes I just got to riffle through it.
Rifle.
Machine lore mo to sa se machine lore.
Okay, wonderful. No clue what that means.
Neither. I'm pretty sure it means like something.
You've
but-
just.
Tunung tanang yam
Oh,
tawra.
right, fair enough. You skipped a single page and just gone for it.
Just because you read the
Sina
dictionary
kaya
doesn't mean
mo
you know the definition.
kana doy no wati da sa mana bro.
You did.
YT ga to manai au da kick na YT advertisement yaw ko pa dung ba yaw to. YT da na dung ba lai advertisement to. Ai ti mo ngai. Ai disturb to de na yem ka. Adu mo. Hai che rondo na yem ko ngai ne. Rondo da di recall yaw ni ka na. Kick sina ano ba ju yam no ru di na tri. Sahi ama ni mo di phar ma. Ado kick sina nungai ai di kana to wai da. Monetization to bu su kui ai di monetization to bu su su. Ado gi ai na kick che monetize to ko tham gi da. Follow to sen bi no mo.
Teams look at a lead Pachinko well, crowding around the edges of Pachinki.
Ado ai ganda block ta ki ai na sat ko koi sat ko ko ma jalo oi na ba.
But still,
Kick sida IRL tower da bane. Ado ini ai na
teams are still
YT da to so kai ba. Ado
it's a
lagi.
calm game.
Kick to ina IRL tower gi.
Rondo because it's from
Speed ISO speed kita da sat pagi IRL tower live tab. Ado kita da IRL tower to.
After elimination,
Ado ini ai na kick sikan na.
plenty of ridiculous
Ai che rondo
infighting
rondo
for
na
some
dia.
of these
Iya ni
POIs on
to.
the map. But for Erangel, this is a pretty reasonable circle.
YT da
Honestly,
usat
I
lagi
don't
kick
think
halle
there's
ai. Kick ta yen
nothing
mo
too crazy about this whatsoever.
GoPro ama lai ro yam ba.
I feel like the first fight
GoPro
that
di
might pop off
amu
is actually
ham nai da na.
on their
Handle
crossing
la
from the north side.
phone sida dum handle bar ga
Where they
to.
go.
Handle la bar.
Nemesis.
Yeah, Alpha 7 are kind
Oh,
of in
did I
the
get
way. But Alula could just go further east and try
Mike,
and
to man lai da na Mike masado.
things. And Alpha 7
Tak
are
yan
a
challe
bit
da na.
split right now, so it is
Tak la
kind of
to
dangerous if
la.
Alula
Ayan.
go for a full crash on towards one of the positions on the
They can
north.
sa to no ai.
Obscure
Anda
were
August ki last week sa pe.
both kind of isolated from one another. Well, for Alpha
Ko
7
thok ta
right
ko
now,
kui
it
re
seems
live
that
su tha lai re.
Right, you're trying to
NIV
maintain
Swords,
control
thank
of
you for the NIV Swords.
Also have some
Kick the
control
follow
of
to send
Alpha
bilang lagi
7
thank you.
Everest, and you're basically
They
guaranteeing
can sa
us
to no
much
ada ki
in
last
towards the next
kick
circle
si
as
quality
possible.
no ai ti
Those
YT
looking
na
to go
game
good.
game ge
And there
quality
is
quite
support
okay.
that you can make from
Kick
the
shing
north
bani da.
and squeeze out
They shing na di tha ni kick to.
for a slight push up over towards that north side as soon as Obscure was sending back that
Quality
back
shing
that
ang ganida na.
information that
Shing na tha bani.
potentially was a team roaming on the northern edge, but he's going to back down towards the south side of Everest.
Shing is di.
Everyone's quite well situated though. School currently taken by Tiamba.
Oh,
They shifted
amo
over from
mo
the
side.
eastern
Oh,
side.
ay ganun na ni.
Alula crosses
Ay,
over
network
the
na.
water. to the
Ne
banks
wo
of
nga
the
ri
zone.
ma chang le kan to ya.
But pretty much this one comes down to zone 2. There's plenty of space for absolutely everyone.
Well,
here.
the
So we
quality
can probably
shame
talk about some of our teams. Currently in this one, Yangon Galacticos getting a very free and easy rotate from that south side, but AGAL
Si 1080 si kamay na.
last time around, but they did
Ay
fall
tha do no
over
pang dire.
at some point. I think I'd like to see a step up from this squad.
Ki di free gift flight ro nang dala gaya di. Pasa tre. Ay di shing ya, shing ni shing.
Matches, I'd like to see something good out of this squad. And
Sabi
that
na dio,
would
yung shing ni da kick to ay
be
budi.
in that top 6.
Di kan ba ito la pa ya. Shing wali da kick to. Sabi na dio, yung pasa na shing ni he. Masagi ay na mo gi quality na shing.
First place position of this lobby. This is not the reality
Shing
that you
shing
were selected.
shing
Given
shing
the
pan
forces
shing
that
ni.
we saw back
Masagi.
in those group stages.
Dito how to hire ga
They
game
have
mo.
fallen off, but
Bisan ng kick,
far
pula to
enough
sa
to be
laba.
outside of that opportunity zone. With Goat Team in second place on 57
Final
points, that's
chang dapat
17
single bro.
points
Ah,
ahead
baru
of
session final chang
AGL
dapat.
in 12th, which means that they have a massive opportunity to be able to push on through to change the story
Kick
here.
ay ma pula
That's
tha
for
ba ni
almost
sound
all
di
of
pa
the
sa ay.
teams, in fact. As the circle
AD 시행이.
punches in.
아니 막
Again,
이행이로 난 이제.
fairly chilled out circle. Keeps that northern side a little bit in, but
너를 비싼 아니 막
just
이행이로.
going to have to look to move
Por lo
forward.
tanto,
And Alola split themselves 2 and 2 to try and
Là
find
này
the
tao
best
tao
way
nói đi
across.
ra
I
làm tao
imagine
làm
they've
tao.
spotted Alpha 7
Tao cái mà sai nó quỳ
location.
đấy.
With Alpha 7 looking to
Good,
regroup,
good.
Alola will be able to get through. It's interesting.
그 산인도 웃어야 돼. 산인도 웃어야 돼. 야는 거니다. 그러기 로긴 그노 거 그노 소이고. Credential password cái cả. 이행이네 그룹 때 스크린샷 다 이거니. 맞아 맞아.
Across Boatyard, wrap through the rolling hills on the south side of Boatyard, and back to one another, which is why you're actually seeing them rotate to regroup over towards the western edge, alongside the rest of the team that's south of Box. AGAL getting blasted right now as they push over towards Ruins. This was a very desperate rotate. They're mildly successful.
Honestly, okay.
Into position, they play the
Bởi
bunkers,
nằm
they
lâu.
play the
Bởi bởi.
sandbags. Okay.
Bởi là Google sign in to slow, Google sign in to slow vậy. Rồi hắn đã ký giveaway gì đi. Johnny Walker rồi tàu chỉ này. Johnny Walker rồi nó không sẽ lên giải đâu.
What you can hear in the background there. You've got your headphones in.
Johnny Walker rồi nè.
Make sure that they are nice and healthy. Yeah, I feel like Mild.
Wow, mày nó xuống ngang gì bộ. 친구 뭐 câu bà 싸가 나와 비네요. 그러면 이제 좀 빠오지. 나 그러면 좀 빠르면 되고 신경 꺼랑 비고 싸가 나와 비네요. 이제 싹싹 먹고 이들이 싹 나와 비네요.
Spicy rotation.
이거 진짜 잘하더라고.
I think a lot of people
싹 나와 이제 거.
figure out where they wanted to go.
맞아, 아이 싹 나와 이제 거.
Very clear decision in mind. A lot of teams don't push towards Ruins too early either because they don't want to be on that slope.
Đấy, cho nên có hồi của tôi có cầu nha, giờ đây hey, rồi mà tôi sẽ lấy gì ra cả đi. Là sao của gaming ngoài là ta cái đôi nhiều rồi. Sao bây giờ mà cái đó, nó cần thầm mô, thằng nào, thằng cái nào vậy, xin người đi thầm này vậy đấy. Ai sao sang thằng mình một cuộc tưởng gì? Ai chú xem tôi cố một cái hành lạc đó, sang cái gì? Ok vậy đấy tôi. Login to where the issue ding tay sam gada app oina download dorokan fazana setup dorokan yare AI.
Oh yeah, THANKG is done. Going to be going for right. He's on foot, getting down there, or is he? Maybe he's in a buggy. Not entirely sure.
Download dorokan da fazana setup dorokan yare. Oh okay. Download si link to sam yare download to yare.
Any sound. As soon as Alola read that he's here, he's gone.
타닝 거 뒤도 싸마 타진 싫어 아이. 야 자니 해 그랬었지. 아이제 같이 아이제 싸마 거에 먹고.
That was his vehicle.
Ah, maybe.
Live sẽ đang tàu chiến tàu này. Rồi mà tàu sẽ lấy idzie mai kami idzie lắm. Mang cái gì vậy?
Medium success to
massive
success.
강한 뭐야 되나?
Yeah, really.
고뱅고드 cái thằng bốc tàu đồng cái ấy, Xiaomi cái tàu đồng.
Really nice slice of it.
Home Minister
compound as well.
chắc khẳng định là già đấy. Karang ngang quay gì? Ở đây Home Minister làm cái gì? Sai đi dàn tá lấy bên này rồi, đó là.
Maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes potentially.
Hai này kịp qua là cái live thao rồi tí ngoài thì hey.
They're trying to leave past Gatka.
Qua là cái live thao cũng ngay. Mà lâu ta video. Nó thì thân nó cả thứ đó gì thân nó cái này chân để rồi, room thứ đó rồi. Mà lâu ta video ấy tôi như thế. Hình như là cái lao phong mình đó. Là chỉ vụ số đồ không gì mà đó là chỉ số dầu cũng không. Dầu cũng không dầu là cái tuần thế hay dầu có cái dầu ấy tàu. ಅದು ಫೈನಲ್ ಏನ ತೋಸಿಗೈ ನೋ ತುಂಗಮ ತಿಲ್ಲಗ ತವರಂ ಫೈನಲ್ ಅದಿ ಐಎಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ತೋರ್ಸಿ ಐಎಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ತೋರ್ಕೆ ಐ ngasi di to yaro do kena torke ai ko bisa pugum bada torke ಐಎಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ko bisa pugum balai dana
not a team we expected to be in 13th here. This is a very big surprise for everyone.
Booker game money power is the money
the guys on
money is bazar ma ba like hingi sing se follow tàu là đi dầu đi bộ dầu đi
I don't think they're getting many points off the back of this game.
follow ở đây nãy bị hingi sing se 엄청 nga follow tàu là đi ba không khai cái này coi
both getting sent
với tần là vậy bộ tàu nó tàu này cái nó tàu này đi ra tần là vậy 엄청 là đi
a team that has had
some
ups and downs. I think it's safe to say over the course of these group stages, not quite able to make it all the way into the top 5. They were definitely in with a chance here. The lobby is close enough in terms of these overall
Final
scores
tadi.
right now, Blank, that they can still make it. It does require them to be pushing pretty hard and fast, though. It's likely they're going to need to see at least 5 points on this match to keep themselves in the running. And to be fair, from their position on the north edge, that may well be doable as a duo. If Alola don't commit to pushing out onto that angle, there's really not too many other teams that are going to threaten them. So it's a survival strategy for Ulf, and it may go quite well. They did send all the way from the southeast straight through the middle to get to this spot. That's why they managed to shed all the players that they had. It's a tough game for them. They do need to make the most of it.
Yeah, which is why it is a massive success.
They didn't lose players,
things to repair with, aka cars, which is great. And they should have some success in the future too. We do move over to thrown a bone here, but I would argue that they set themselves up nicely. Honestly, I think Alpha 7 looks good today. They do look good today. Yeah,
Udah lagi, weather sih.
Udah lagi. Remove a lot of that. That's what you were talking about, right? With their ability to hold that 2-2 split. They did regroup on the northern side, so they weren't solos.
Very quick to
1 kg sponsor lain ko. 1 kg sponsor lain ko. Jadi tu yang kami defend. Oh ya pak, ning masih mana lagi lagi ni me. Oh sesi mai snap lagi. Oh, nang ni oh mana sesi mai snap ni. Oh. Sesi hai snap hai bo. Mai snap hai snap. Jadi tu le kai ki nau pa ki. Le kai di thang kai di. Le kai ani hu muk lam ne ba. Le kai ani hu muk lam tau. Le kai nau pa ki.
Oh yeah.
Weather City Porto long na full laga set tong ni da bro mane thangjam oh mane thangjam mo sasi thangjam jadi la thai de to kam de la tang game sana to kam order to chalo ai order ka de to gi ai di khang gi shai order bara sana to khai le me sana ka order ka to gi ai di khang gi order so to gi
there is an answer a little bit, but the nades over the top.
And
it needs another. Let's go for another 1v4. Why not?
Maple, honestly, very well done here. Sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to post these nades over because there's a lot of terrain that stops you from committing those nades inwards. Maybe getting a little bit over aggressive here.
BBC Octre, so bagi Bael do di fazer di he. Oh, adu Bael do di hai kan de. Direct screen na de pai to rei je. Adu di hai ne ro je. Dog to APG squad oi dai. Dog APG squad loi re. Na de APG squad to creo. APG squad tai to creo. Aurora Gaming and to creo. Roson da ngang pok se ya dre haroi
for them right now, but they do need to pick up a couple points here and there.
So na kada follow to honya je ma na ngang follow ko asal pa follow to honya je
Focus on the south side against Ancient Red Force. Ancient Red Force playing only 2 players in action. Similarly, as well. As they have THANKG in the shadow of Alula.
Guys, 100 follower yaw dore, kick 100 follower yaw dore. Pero may ay link te sanga kick follow to sendiro mo.
Holding. Next circle.
Give away mo sa to din kick follow number set give bro eh. No, kick follow number set ya.
Information as possible at the moment.
Yubi film da away na. Hong dar ma le ma film do na. Tawar ba ma le ay jo pai Facebook to ram. Film do na.
They haven't been so far. Very spiny.
Kemarin follow to ya tadi. Ya ini gitu. Restart aku ya udah. Application tu restart aku ya udah.
But Scarface does get flushed. Aaron's not soon to
follow to ya dia.
A victim of the MG3 on the northern side. Will go down, so not what they were looking for here to keep themselves in the running. They'll need something bigger in the next few. And very, very quickly, as we turn our attention
QBD ML kana tawda ma PUBG sanadram ML
They're
donda
up to 5 elims on this match now, Blank. They're doing well on the south side. They've rebuffed pushes there. They have the buildings to play around. Goat team on 6 elims as well, looking to come off the back of a strong rondo in towards Erangel with some force.
Well, they have force with them, so don't worry. He is on the team. We're good to go. But they're going to have to move it towards that northeast side. It's a slightly interesting push they'll have to make, and if they want to wrap down towards the south here and play in slow, definitely doable. Alpha 7, they pulled off from that northern portion of the compound and fully situated themselves down towards the south here. Understanding the teams are likely wrapped through fields, were in the compound down towards the southwest, which they are right, and that is Goat team. So they're fully focusing a lot of their attention over towards Everest and their southwest. This is a good approach to the game for them. GK doing something very similar, looking to hold on the teams that are on the southern edge. Remaining down there.
Ang kenara mtrida kenara mtrida oh dian mazu sai match ho with moi ka shi gre T1 shure hey T1 shure mai ho with sai point na shi point kya low give dian mazu ngan na shi oh dagi moi makha ge score ka chicken nam sa de second lai ge jo tiền lên làm một kêu tôi ngắt nó xì rồi kích suy giảm vẫn là này E7 chứ đúng tâm sản này đi bro thay na sản này là bro hơi không như là có gì kana sản này đi cái sản này là áo sản này đây này MNP là bác sĩ sản này mà đi lấy rồi đúng không cái sản này là Mario sản này là mẹ cái Mario cái sản này là mẹ mà ăn cái sản này đây
They got to get rid of this team.
MNP की वो नहीं आउट रहेगा MNP वो काम चला रहा है अरे ओके नहीं चलता है तुम फादो को दिल्ली में संग अपना
current zone blank they have to step forwards, so finding these little openings is exactly what they needed, diminishing the power of Goat team across the way. You love to see it. You love to see it.
They're
not quite connecting either way. Bootsman starts to get closer with that.
Ball không đang ít rồi. Để đi đừng ball không này. Để đi đừng. Hồn đừng quay sang.
Very, very well done. You have to capitalize on that. And this was
Roger cái hồn này cái mà đúng thằng này tôi dùng cái chạy đồ bộ ba. Tôi đi đuổi đấy.
As the day goes on here.
DRX
technically have sent to
I don't think how to come up with they
have been so
lucky to the team
forward. They'll have to change our mind essentially as the day goes on. Finally pull fully.
Subscribe to hold anh cho là cần đời ma gì cái nó còn đây. Bây giờ không phải mà nào, mới mà nào cái mới thả cái những cái party đâu về mới mà nào chứ không phải. Ay live video subscribe ko to lên bạn ko ka. Oh này cái shoot. Em hai được. Oh. Hai nó lên đây nữa.
It ruins the day of DK though. That's nuts. That is nuts. I mean, Milu is just
class 12 public school tame Manipur public school.
Goat team to 8 eliminations on this game despite everything still putting up those points. Alpha 7 wrapped underneath. Tried to catch him off guard there. Bootsman did step towards that south east side of the Tizzy from Nongshim Red Force, Key Wound DRX. Shots over.
Ay YouTube to kitang focus to ganito matang sahi loy ba pagbalak ko dai ka to
steps out into it. TC
wanna use this hazard one NS matang ngai le
there's a lot of crates on this
matang sahi dai Guwahati Katarga Kolkata Guwahati de sa tongman Kolkata de sa me chaning de Guwahati de sa kitongma Guwahati sa tongman
good shot 721 GS looking to
Pero kung kaya live sa doon ko, wala kung mapan mo live sa. Pero Ronaldo ay pin matagato ka tami bending to. Pero sang sila ay keep to follow to sang bira mo ni. Give away nga si taw na 200 follower yaw with nga si give away to with nga 50. Balising nga magi. adu yaunaba mathakkido follower tawsanbiramone follow tawsanbiramone
Now the rest of the team knows that there's players on this north
to sai kya surgi no biji gro
for AGAL, by the way, because
Yam
Alula not for a second tried to check THANKG. So no one's literally no one's known he's here for so long.
Barmai ling che mathakka pin to thami changsalaga follow momam namjanbiramone
Completely scuppered their game plan.
no tawgi DIT se group A team ga pulla sanarakwa kamai tawo jano group B di moina domine tawe angdeu mai da jengada pa shatan narakwa team sanari ne na ariamba oina odi la le kai bigi ya bo ya dunia ji tina kheneida
I think I still believe that.
Sweet 16 ne
A really solid performance from
pero usa toino guati da thabak handak thaba amadi apply tawbune
they could have hoped for in that.
ado irang se tawbudagi postpone tawbre
AGL though.
kano sai October November sai da interview amaga lei
name popping up.
October November sai ado interview do
looking to bolster this position.
last round ne interview hai se first round second round interview loi gre
XCZ opens up over towards
HR round ne last round ne to
to get him down. This is going back and forth, but Maple comes
to
through.
na taran November ma hai re
Will finish them off.
November da sai se guati da
They've got to get quickly with those
poi
players
sakada
back up on their
ganne no je CM ganne no je November da la kani na guati da ado
got the license to
poi
eliminate
sakani ado yem sakani
coming through from on top of
ado jo IRL taw yare kick to IRL taw yare
and they're looking to get the big elims on.
He wound DRX as well into
sai
the
ko ja he lo boy
CC
yen
with a
vida
chance to shut it all down though. Their
di
chance
kitang
to
lon
jump
ba
on the tables to
tanding
get
mane ai
themselves
hindi ni
off
ko
the
lo
back
lo
foot here, but they are now on
Yan
the
lang.
live. He's burning.
ai hindi tamak ko am hindi tam ko tang taw ke sumai sak sang na ni kap dai singo bera ni makha ke singo yuan da ya bro mai sa si yuan da ang sido mai sak sang na ni one kap dai bera he Excel Rose ai gi haya ta ro mo ko haya haram ado gi gwati chat ka da ado gi last round do gari ba namaga de gwati de lai de ori yum da solo pokol ko to so dum hadi lupa lising ama ni ahum gi ticket ni na dum Sudah thola su spider ana Bangalore de ai na kudo ta mo thola kudo hanganda sang go yum thola ko ga sang badal pali sing tu yang kai tu ye thola kudo da thola ko kudo ta ni kudo ta chuti kudo ta chuti me am le ra me chuti do thola ni la pali sing trate tra ban de ka ani kudo thola ko ai ya tang ka ki la pali sing kun ga ni thoi da ka ko me yaw hangada nami tari ni ka tang gi yum thola ko kudo ta Bangalore to Imphal le bal sing puni so ba sang gi benal bal sing trate ai ka pre no bal sing ni fu ma ya da 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 dum loi ni chan go sing da oh yam na adu na pa na kya thola kitre mo mo gyum thok ko bal sing kun sani fu dum loi ticket ka tang da oh na dem gwati de ga di chakau go ka ma be lo bong ba de bye bye ni yaw ni ko thola pe ya ade
off the angle. 5 grenades. They have to be absolutely exemplary. Cannot get the shots underneath the vehicle over towards
Are ai han MI tor ko na
be going for a first aid.
MI gi
Swings one far.
kanu le gwati de MI gi kanu le company le gwati bo branch le MI gi Bangalore nan headquarter oi ba MI gi mai ja si yuan da
From atop the
Once you
Everest
can
position, able to descend, control the northern side, squeeze the life out of the lobby.
Group A kai team na dominate ho gaya ro Group A di kanu na kani ba 4 tribes na
And they took the silencer out and
Palak
certainly
man na mo na nai
silenced squads in the lobby.
ado yang kan ba India go like orang gotang yang kan khet na ga ko wang gi
And again, what I really liked is I
Bijimai sanam da mayang na ta hele sinje ya de
wasn't haphazard from the squad, and even
Yes ka su ga bro bara den match ani sure si hum su de ne Pakistan gi de tro mane mar
a little bit far and potentially wasn't expecting the side.
bara mam game lo ram ni na ne ai gi link matak ta link pin to tham do aur changa ga follow nam jan biram ne bara mam follow ha to sen biram ne ai gi kick ki ne ba download to follow to sen biram mo to give away ma sa ma to ke to
to agree. I feel like that was a lot better. They
200k follower
from that first rondo. They were a little bit more dynamic
Already
than they needed to be.
team VIT dah pasal tarik. Team
Losing
VIT.
Rebel may be something they
VIT
can
anda
catch
yang
up, but
tiga
it
fasa
is
VIT.
improvement consistently, which is exactly what you need for a survival stage.
Game yang tiga fasa
It's great
VIT.
news for them.
Kan
And
fight
the
yang
arena
link.
able to do
Aduh, ini
a
VIT.
lot of work to try and push themselves back
Kan
into
fight
the
yang link.
conversation as
Hasil dah
well.
nana.
Yeah,
Hasil
there
mi
have
kap
been
na macam
questions
dah.
about the consistency
Pasal
of
ada
this
aki
roster.
lagi dah kap na.
Shrek's the only player
Yang
here
menua
to have that opportunity at the triple title of
Malo
PMWC.
final tang
He has been able to win it
tang
twice before.
kaya dah no.
So
Final day
seeing him
14
over
dah.
the
Hayang
survival
hangkit.
stage would
Masih
be,
match kaya no
pretty
go
cool,
sampai je.
I'm sure.
Masih
Yeah,
match
absolutely.
teruk nih sih sampai. Si match ini sudah main match Mariwan.
Fantastic today.
Fearless
Seems to be the day
to
of getting
yang
back
wang
on
ko.
form.
Ada mi dah.
We'll be back on form very shortly.
Ai kan dia. Ang awal dah.
short
Ai
while.
team yang terbaik kan number 1 tu ni guys. Ai kuasum dapat nonton. Guys, kita dah follow kosan biru mo. Ai kuasum dah song ke. Apa ni mai than lagi. Okay.
Hi, Colaris here at PMWC for day 2 of Survival Stage. We haven't got to talk to Wolves at all throughout this tournament so far, so why on earth not do it here with Baton to talk about everything that's going to be going on so far from basically the group stage into the Survival Stage. So thank you for joining me here, Baton. I want to ask you about, obviously you guys got a second place with 11 eliminations on that last game yesterday, but so far, the chicken dinners, the wins have kind of eluded you. What's denying you those chicken dinners? I understand the tournament's very hard, of course, but what's it like from the team's perspective?
I mean, first of all, we're doing like a lot of individual mistakes, you know, and we're not up to the end of the game. That's our main problem. We're trying to fix it, and I think if you will be 4 up every game, it should be much easier and to get chicken dinners, win, whatever.
So let's talk about the Los Leones game specifically, right? Because you guys got to Los Leones pretty early relative to everybody, a lot of other teams, and committed to it quite early as well. When you look back on that, a second place with 11 wins is great, but are there any moments from that game or in that game that you look back on and you think you could have done differently, or even differently enough to be able to beat AGAL in the final moments?
I think it would be different if me and Necessary stay alive, because we lost like me and Necessary in fight with NS Red Force. We could just hold them like because they didn't have the zone. If we just hold them and we were like 4 up, I think it was our game.
So I guess I'll actually add a final question as well. What was the expectation for Wolves coming into this tournament? As I mentioned before, obviously, and you know as well, a very hard tournament overall, the best teams in the world. What's the goal for Wolves here in this tournament?
Okay, for now it's obviously just to qualify to the final. Yeah. But in the final, just to improve our game and show our best.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Baton, for joining us here. This is day number 2 of the Survival Stage, and we're signing out right now.
Thank you, Colaris, for that amazing interview in Arena, Max. We've finally seen them showing up here, even though they were just chilling for the longest time in Everest. But great movement out of that squad to come out with the win.
A non-rondo chicken dinner? Well, I'll take it every day of the week. No, it's really good to see Everest, of course. Very important area if you have a circle shifting towards the northwestern side of Erangel, which is what ended up happening there around ruins. But in particular, what I loved is they were trying to get rid of threats before they become a major threat. In this game in particular, Al-Ula, they were having major control of ruins. I think you might want to talk about them later on, Lipchura. But they had really big control of ruins, and I think Arena understood that would be a big issue for them later on down the line. So then if they try and get rid of Al-Ula, or maybe not straight up eliminate them, but force them away from their position, maybe they can actually end up getting the win. So I think Arena here, that was some top tier stuff, and I wish to see it just more consistently.
And Lace, one thing that we saw too is them gatekeeping Alpha 7 in a way, because Alpha 7 ended up being just in the house. Usually that's a team that likes to spread their wings a little bit more in that kind of position, but Arena wasn't allowing them to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really even disappointed with what they were trying to do in that certain scenario. You know, they were, you know, down a player compared to that. So them being able to sort of scout that position. Obviously, I think when our wonderful IGL got out of the vehicle, probably just a bit too early. I think that's where the miscommunication led them. And obviously, he was not in a good position whilst, you know, Arena was still scouting in the vehicles. But look, it's a better effort. Like, we have to take from yesterday to today, they're getting in those top 5s.
And better effort, we saw that from KRX in this game as well. Not necessarily the final push, KRX, but you know what? You guys have been absolutely awful so far, so I'm happy to see some great stuff from you guys.
Yeah, it is nice to see a little bit of life coming in from them, but E-Arena just cleaning things up. Schleps, oh my goodness me. E-Arena, I'm very, very impressed with how they played this, waiting for A7 to make a move first, to come to them, to let them know where their position is, and then just going all the way around. I mean, MG3 does help Max. We know how powerful that weapon can be, especially in the hands of a professional team like this. But A7 had a lot of options, and E-Arena just made sure that those options were built very, very quickly. So very happy with EA for this last game.
Quick positive for all the teams at the end there, in particular looking at Alpha 7 and E-Arena. Not doing these weird drive-bys and just losing all of your momentum. They actually stop the car, get out of the car, start shooting, and then they get back in the car and start driving forward. So I do appreciate that. I'm sure Blank is going to heavily enjoy that finishing moment. What was it?
So can you do that again for us?
Damn, boy, you made the whole camera shake and everything. But one team that has been performing really well has been Go Team. Go Team, they ended up with the win early on. We know that they can definitely put up the numbers. I want to see Go Team between yesterday and today, because this squad is different. Keep in mind, this is total stats, and so far, Go Team, we know those eliminations are going to be coming in, but Lace, one thing I'm looking at is those placement points already double in some the placement points of yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, they're really thinking this through. Even if we, you know, come out of that match and their rotation from military base. And, like, I do want to kind of add in RRQ just into this mix, because they had every opportunity to be able to gatekeep on military bridge. They decided to rotate, but, you know, their power in holding a position is unfortunately not the best. But that's what Goat can realize. They moved through that sort of western side. They were able to position themselves well. Nice split hold, which we see from them so often. They have that dominance power. So this is exactly why we're seeing them collectively get these good positions and these eliminations. So, I mean, it's incredible work from them, and I do believe that they're going to maintain that top 6. I believe it because of the way that they've been playing throughout yesterday and today. It's amazing.
No, it really is. I'm really enjoying how they're
playing.
The
greatest of all time.
It is. It really is. But I really enjoy the zone control that they're trying to keep going forward game after game. It's a nice bit of consistency that we're seeing. EA as well, not to go back to them, but they had a really nice push down off the mountain. They were able to sweep behind really well. Yes, hello, A7 as well. You know, second place, okay, that's good, that's good. But stop.
Sanico.
For me,
Sanico guys, Sanico.
Really nice the way that split around and pushed out Sanico across that zone. They did actually try to push up to EA as well, which I did notice, but I think just that terrain was just not going to be really happening there. But for me, Al-Ula, except for the final crash where they just disintegrated in 0.5 seconds, apart from that, really good game. I like it. I like it.
Nice, Al-Ula. One team that I know you were keeping an eye on as well, Max, is none other than Tiamba, because Tiamba, what was it that you were looking at? Tell me a little bit more.
Not a great push, unfortunately, on their Chinese brethrens of all gamers. And actually, I believe we do have a replay that might be coming up in just a few seconds here. Actually, it's going to be this one. But the thing is about Tiamba, I think the idea of pushing onto all gamers is great, because you see all the players get knocked here. And the thing is, if you want to push in this area, you have to commit. You need to eliminate the opposition, which is because everyone got wrecked literally upon entry in this area. It's just a nade funnel at that point. And then and wrap it up, end up getting all of those flushes, and only Milu is left alive, which, no, Milu can do 1v4s, we've seen it before. But Tiamba, sure, they're in first position, but I'm looking ahead of the finals. In the finals, I would say this is a massive fumble, maybe that could cost them the tournament. So Tiamba, position like this, you can't play too passive, you need to commit if you want to come out on top.
Especially when you have a team like AGAL wanting to be even more aggressive, wanting to make that push, because they also need the points. This is a team that hasn't really been performing well, but let's take a look at how the standings are currently looking. Tiamba is still in first place, but Alpha 7 making that push now to second place. Go team.
Alpha 7 is second place yung play niya. Yan ba yung? Yan kena point 60, 82 66 point dyan.
And we're going to start seeing a bit of a gap here between some of the points too. Max Beauty goes all the way down to 5th.
Yeah, it's been looking a little bit tough, unfortunately. I'm not seeing anything from Silence and
Alpha 7 is second yung sa le.
Those guys are very good.
Final di cup ke hara ka dori.
On the international stage has been kind of the Higor
show right now
for the side of Furia. So I'm glad to see a little bit of a team-wide effort though on the second page.
What's going on? They're losing players on like Grenade error. Grenade cam final zano.
It isn't the one that I know. It's not the one that anybody knows. I quite frankly, it's not the one
minimum na Grenade mari mga di punay mo siya. Ado yang taru ka puyo. Reho ko ko dali.
It's not the same. It's not the same at all.
Grenade mari mga dali.
From, you know, players
Kwa ka malagi ni ama na tra ali mo kada ali ko puso sa lahat to niya dali. Tehori ba ato ka team hat ka team do. Mo di mo Grenade ang lokal
and then all of a sudden they get here and it's just fizzle out, and I'm so confused because this is a team that has incredible firepower. Right? They're so good at that aggressive play. And we're not seeing anything. Well, exactly. I mean, how do you go from old Fireflux, a lot of those players being on old Fireflux with that reputation, coming over here, continuing that reputation, and then doing nothing now?
Just final point on that one. Usually they're slow starting team. This is taking way too long to like build up that momentum.
Way too
long.
That's right, Alpha 7. Let's get a little bit high because the team is
winner prize okay, bro. Winner prize 28 crore 28 crore.
Other than the man with high energy, and Kalaris.
Yes, all right.
That's naiba. Para to san ay kano kick se follow to san biro ba.
A few teams such as
para azat when they hit those big para to san kick se follow to san biro ay gise 100 follower yo uday ki we ma to ne ba.
Good information from there, not only
200 follower yo uday. Ado kana to san biro follow to san biro na. Sida mata pin do tham mi sida sama ga. Yes, thank you for the duel.
Was critical, right? So it's good to finally see them make something happen. Even though it is on the last day, we still got
holding Alpha 7 in that compound to then swing around the north
side.
Eliminating threats. They're a very opportunistic team, and I think that was really exemplified in that game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they had all the sight lines on there, they hold that edge at Everest, and then they saw that fight happening down there with KRX. They go down, take it, get those eliminations, and still pop on back, like you mentioned, to be able to take Alpha 7 and clutch it up. Very nice.
One of the teams, of course, they did kind of clean up on that east side. AGAL, who, of course, is in the running for club championship points, in the running to try and get themselves a strong, solidified position in that
Thank you. Thank you.
AGAL needs top 6. They need to see this team make it to the finals. It was so brutal watching it at the last second. Hit the headshot, but wasn't able to get the finish, but still 11 eliminations. So they ended up getting 15 points based on that. A solid performance, but at the end of the day, this is still a close one.
I like their pandas. Do you think they've got the blessing of the panda?
The pandas are looking out to the audience right now. They're looking into the distance. They can see the future. And you know what? The future is bright for AGAL.
Thank you. To get things rolling. So let's get another game going here.
All right, looking like a little magician with the flourish there. Emphasis on the little. He's a short man. Thank you very much down on the stage. I'm quite tall. I don't know what you're talking about. Please, leave me alone. Oh dear. That was my imitation of a couple of our other teams, certainly in Rondo over in THANKG.
Please, leave me alone. I don't want to fight.
Yeah, just if pass. Let me live, please.
Yeah.
Go team were like,
no. Furia don't look too happy. The body language is looking a little bit rough. We got Yangon Galactica stats here.
Oh yeah.
Sub 1,000 damage average per game. I mean, it's not like they're doing nothing. I think Yangon Galacticos have been
follow the
putting again for sort of an unknown from last year to a very well known. I don't think they're doing terribly right now in PWC whatsoever, but they would like to get to the finals at least. They got to get on the bike now.
Absolutely. Something you need to try and step up towards. As we said, it would be a little bit of a shame if the defending champions weren't there in the finals, but if you're not good enough, doesn't matter what you've done before, you need to do it now. You need to get stuck in.
No, limit.
Follow on it again, blank from that. It is pretty nasty, isolating positions up on the northwest, and I feel like the team I'm thinking about when I think they're Alpha 7. Where are they going to go?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I should have a secondary here. We'll see exactly which one it is. Maybe eastern side, potentially. Very long time ago they used to do that, though. But yeah, Furia, definitely a team that's at risk right now. 57 points. I know they can do more. They know they can do more. Like I said, the body language looks a little bit rough at the moment. I see a bit more energy. They might need a bit of a pep talk between match 3 and match 4. One of the teams jumping out nice and early.
Thank you, baby son. Thank you. Bro, final. Kanana low them gan gay. Low man was a VIP the lane, bro.
Some contested locations for vehicles, etc. I feel like there's a little grouping of players there around where the Wolves are. GK are underneath that. The northern point of RRQ could potentially be a danger zone, and everybody out just northwest of Milta over towards the mansion shelter prison sort of area. There is a lot of players dropping out there. I don't think there's that many vehicles, Blank. It's going to be tight.
We are going back to Lipovka. Lipovka split actually for Alpha 7. Okay. They did this quite frequently, so they are going east side. Nice to see. AGAL down towards Milta Power and Mini Milta. Lovely circle for everyone. Honestly, this is probably one of the kinder circles they could have gone for here. It's not fully down towards Sosnovka, but it is around the area where you'd want to be playing, where the playing path has been dropped to you off. So yeah, fine, just fine stuff. For Ulf, I'm going to say now, if they want to be in the top 6, we need like a second place or a high elim game, top 3, or a chicken dinner. If not, it's going to be a very hard end of the day. They're currently 14th place. You know it's bad when Kiwoom DRX is actually catching up to you. That's a problem. They've had a really rough time of it.
Yeah, they are currently 17 points behind. So there is a real gap for them to close. But Ulf could do it. They definitely could, slap bang in the center of this zone. Time to play around with. Hopefully they can find something here. As you said, it's what they would need.
At the top 6, it's actually very kind. It's so kind that match 6 is where teams are going in and out from that top 6 over and over again. We finally settle on the chosen. Yeah, it's getting very, very tight-knit on the leaderboards. You want to get a tight-knit grouping on your spray.
Okay. How do you do that?
You've got to make sure you have the Ninetales Fury Orc skin from in-game. Make sure you also pick up the Naruto set. There it is.
Okay.
Teasers for a while there, but finally we got it on board. But it does look pretty. It also has an alternate version as well. We're going to show me the spin. Show me the spin. No spin.
No spin. Spinless.
Spinless?
None for you. You've got to get it in game.
That's really sad, actually.
Well, you win some, you lose some.
You do. You do. But you can certainly win. Skins from the current Naruto event. It is fantastic. I think it's specifically Shippuden as well.
I'm sure that means something. I'll have to get...
That's right, John.
I'll have to get Maxman on that one. Generally, the things you say tend to have... So I'm gonna give you the benefit.
ꯇꯤꯛꯇꯗꯤ ꯃꯌꯦꯛ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯁꯦꯡꯅ ꯊꯥꯍꯧꯋꯦꯕ ꯑꯩ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯋꯥꯏ ꯌꯦꯡꯉꯝꯕꯅꯦꯕ ꯌꯦꯡꯉꯨꯅꯦ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯅꯤꯌꯣꯗꯣ ꯀꯟꯅ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯇꯧꯍꯧꯕꯅꯦꯕ ꯏꯟꯗꯤꯌꯥꯒꯤ ꯀ꯭ꯋꯥꯂꯤꯐꯥꯏ ꯑꯣꯏꯈ꯭ꯔꯗꯥꯏꯅꯦ ꯐꯥꯏꯅꯦꯜ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯅꯠꯇꯕ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯅꯦ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯏꯟꯗꯤꯌꯥ BMS ꯀꯩꯅꯣ BMSD ꯍꯥꯏꯕ꯭ꯔꯥ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯑꯃꯁꯨ ꯇꯧꯔꯤꯕꯅꯦꯕ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯏꯟꯗꯤꯌꯥꯒꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯒꯣꯕ꯭ꯂꯤꯟ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯀꯥꯞꯅꯍꯧꯕꯅꯦꯕ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯗꯧꯁꯨ ꯃꯥꯟꯕ ꯑꯃꯨꯛꯁꯨ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯏꯟꯗꯤꯌꯥ ꯃꯆꯥꯒꯤꯗꯣ ꯌꯦꯡꯅꯤꯡꯉꯛꯄꯩꯗꯣ ꯂꯩꯔꯦ ꯁꯤ ꯂꯩꯔꯦ ꯁꯣꯜ ꯁꯤꯠꯅ ꯌꯦꯡꯉꯤꯁꯤꯗ BGMS ꯋꯥꯠꯄ BGMS ꯍꯥꯏꯕ BGMS ꯁꯔꯆ ꯇꯧꯒꯦꯀꯣ ꯌꯦꯁ कौन जेएमएस डे 3 उधर से जाए
यहाँ पे अग्रेशन एंड
कहीं ना है
आपको मदद करेगा अपनी टीम को बिल्ड करने
पर कुछ आना माइज दे
ऑब्वियसली हेल्प करता है बट अग्रेशन और ओवर अग्रेशन में एक थिन लाइन होती है बस उसको मेंटेन करके चलेंगे तो ऑब्वियसली वो बहुत हेल्पफुल करेगा हमें
speaks like a captain behaves like a captain and
या पिकने का कनो तो था दरो माइज ऐप न तरह सु वेबसाइट ता दुम येंबा या बने किक तो वेबसाइट ता दुम
देखिए रोमन आज के दिन पे क्या करके जाने वाले ये तो वक्त ही बताएगा बट इतिहास की
watch party di मैम तो नहीं है कनाई दी येंगे को दे खाऊं कनानुन है
देखिए भरोसा तो अंतिम मैच तक रखा
नो विंग जिन तो इरा
वो भरोसे के काबिल
ओ चले
चलिए ग्रुप सी खेलने वाले अपने अगले 3 मुकाबले ग्रुप ए जुड़ चुके हैं उनके साथ और ये जंग हम चालू करेंगे ऑन द मैप ऑफ राउंड टेक इट अवे कास्टर्स
चलिए शुरुआत नया ग्रुप लेकिन मैप वही परफॉर्मेंस अच्छी चाहिए उन टीमों से खासकर जो कि
क्वालिटी जिसमें जो 1080 लॉगिन रिक्वायर्ड है 1080
बट रेडबुल पावर जोन उसका तो आप फायदा जरूर उठाना चाहेंगे शैडो इंटरेस्टिंग प्लेन पाथ टू बी ऑनेस्ट नॉर्दर्न साइड से शुरुआत होती है हेडिंग टुवर्ड्स सर्दर्न साइड नियर टू जिदेना सिटी इंटरेस्टिंग हल्का सा ईस्टर्न साइड की तरफ शिफ्टेड जरूर है बट स्टिल
को मायनो में ये फुल तो हो गया
स्टेडियम आपके पास है न्यूयॉर्क
फुल स्क्रीन को मायनो के जुआ चिली जोनाथन याओ ने है
बहुत सारी टीमें
हमें तो मुझे लगा बने
ड्रॉप लोकेशंस काफी ज्यादा नजदीक तो आसानी रहेगी अर्ली लूट और अर्ली फाइट्स के अंदर
देखिए आसानी तो रहेगी बट
अरे कमेंट सम रोन है कदम दसम दे नो
के ऊपर सबसे ज्यादा नजरें रहती है
अरे भाई आईपीएल चिन्ह नंबर 1 ना नहीं बने
पावर जोन का फायदा भी उठाना चाहेंगे टीएजी एक ऐसी टीम है जिसने अभी तक हमें दिखाया है कि रोंडो के ऊपर वो सबसे ज्यादा स्ट्रांग है बट आज के दिन में इस मुकाबले में जिन टीम्स को सबसे स्ट्रांग निकल के आना है वो तो ड्रॉप क्लैश है थोड़ा सा दूर फिलहाल
नजर आ रहा है हमें काम तो क्या विशेष के तो लोगों का नाम
दोनों के लिए ये रोंडो को मैप काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है आज के दिन में हमने शुरुआत में देखा था 8 बिट ये भी काफी स्ट्रगल कर रही थी बट मैं शिवांश एक बार जूसी के बारे में और बात करना चाहूंगी ये एक ऐसा खिलाड़ी है जिसको हमने देखा है हर साल ऑफिशियल में ग्रैंड फाइनल्स में भी टॉप 10 में आते हैं बट मास्टर सीरीज में आते हैं इनके स्ट्रगल्स हमें काफी ज्यादा क्लियरली देखने को मिलते हैं बट थैंकफुली इस बार पे कमबैक किया बट
ले रे कोट ले रे
वर्सेस वाइल्ड फैंक्स के बीच में एक भिड़ंत होते हुए जहां पे ड्रीम्स को डाउन किया
मेक शेक में व्हाट प्रा
सारंग भी नॉक होते हुए
क्वालिटी जा
बात करें उनके सामने फिलहाल
ए लॉगिन नंबर से के तो 1080 ये
आर्मर नहीं है जॉनथन के पास में डेस्ट्रो ऑलरेडी टेकन डाउन
जोनाथन
सांता भी बहुत और पॉइंट्स अपने लिए बटोरती हुई एक-एक करके प्लेयर्स जरूर एलिमिनेट हो रहे हैं बट वंस अगेन वी ऑल नो इस रेड बुल पावर जोन का अगर आप तो ज्यादा से ज्यादा पॉइंट्स अपने लिए बटोर पाएंगे
आई किक के से आई ओफ हम थंगे बॉस स्पिन जा
हाई ग्राउंड का हाइट एडवांटेज जरूर एक्स्ट्रा पॉइंट्स बटोरने
इंजन तो ओफ थंगे बॉस क्यों तो गया लॉगिन तो गया स्कोर ना माइजले या
हर्षु एपेक्स गेमिंग का रोंडो अभी तक सबसे ज्यादा स्ट्रांग हमें नजर आ रहा है एंड दोबारा से एक स्ट्रांग शुरुआत उनकी होते हुए टीम आउटरीच जस्ट अभी एक चिकन निकाला है एंड आप ये देखिए शुरुआत में 4 फिनिशेस मतलब
Xin nung ai dong mal. Jonathan ui fight gi. Sona kan gi do kita
किस भिड़त में आउटरेज
Warap
भी आज
sat
के
pa
थर्ड
ma
पार्टी का
lak pai tare poto. Lak pai tare.
बहुत ज्यादा बढ़िया 5 आपने ऑलरेडी फिनिश बटोर लिए निंजा बॉय पकड़े जरूर
Cheng ba. Mai adum cheng ba guys.
वो स्प्रे कंटिन्यू रखा और उसका फायदा भी आपको मिला जरूर है बट
Cheng da bra. Mai.
कंफर्मेशन की देरी कंफर्मेशन जैसे ही हमारे सामने आएगा तो एक
Mai cheng da bra.
जरूर जाने वाला है बट हर्ट्स ऑन द अदर साइड कलेक्टिंग सम मोर फ्रैग्स स्लग
Cheng gani da.
इसको कंफर्म करते हुए एक और फिनिश और क्या शुरुआत है
Jonathan
ore करते हुए
Inga na maga ya dre to ise. Bro India kwai gi hai ba player kana oi. Khang de bro. Cheng e ya re. Volume diya ba yo volume.
इस्तेमाल करना है आपको फायदा उठाना है बट एक और चीज क्योंकि मैं यहाँ पर देख रहा हूँ कि
मैं कब ना भाई volume दिया यार बा.
पॉइंट बटोर पाइए डिस्पाइट आपके पास एक बहुत अच्छी एडवांटेज थी चलिए तीसरा भी फ्रैग आया इंस्टेंट स्पिरिट बनते हुए वो अगले फ्रैग टीम तमलास के लिए थोड़ी सी परेशानी जरूर क्योंकि मैंटी स्पॉटेड है
ओके ताने.
एक छोटी सी गलती और आप डन बट वाइल्ड फैंग्स
Okay.
शैडो आइकू सोल के अगेंस्ट गोटे नॉकड आउट
Chin wai ne
और काना जिम्मेदारी
Xin nung ai ni hai na khal.
स्प्रे गॉड जिम्मा इनके ऊपर है काना भी अलग-अलग लाइनअप का हिस्सा रह चुके हैं हर
ओ,
बार
ओ, ओ,
अच्छा
ओ, ओ।
परफॉर्म करते हैं बट फिलहाल के लिए काना के बारे में अच्छा फ्रैग निकाले हैं वाइट फैंग्स को जीवन दान चाहिए काना ने मदद करी है और अपने नॉक प्लेयर स्प्रे गॉड उनको भी रिवाइव देना पड़ेगा मात्र
खाना है रो कान है रो.
इतना समय है कि आप अपने नॉक प्लेयर को रिवाइव दे पाएंगे कि लेजेंड की अगर बात करें
स्क्रीन से याद है.
लो एचपी पे आ चुके हैं थोड़ा सा
स्क्रीन
पीछे
से
जाना
नहीं
चाहेंगे
होगा.
काना अपने आप
शोर
को भी
में
हील
जाता
करना है बट जीरो हीलिंग नो स्मोक नथिंग एट ऑल प्रयास तो किया जाएगा रिवाइवल का बट आप ये देखिए रेड बुल पावर जोन में 2 एलिमिनेशन निकाले हैं एक अच्छी शुरुआत बट ऑरा आई थिंक उसने सबसे ज्यादा बेहतर फायदा उठाए हैं 5 फिनिशेस निकाल के एंड अभी भी उनके पास में वो रिकॉल फीचर मौजूद है बट स्प्रे गॉड 1v1 कब से हारने लगे स्प्रे गॉड की तरफ से स्ट्रगल
ने से गाइस इन लोग दो ने ai
परेशान करेगी जरूर
Jonathan karam ba ki moi doi no tek ana me yoi fight to to lei tek na to pudi lei 133 132 point Jonathan yoi 132
जो चाहिए थी वो
132 go like soul ka kapna bi Jonathan yo makha lei jo mathan de lum ma lei jo
स्पेसिंग बनाई अंधा करा
makha da mathan de lum ma lei jo Jonathan
आखिरी फ्रैग भी वो कंफर्म करते हैं बट वाइल्ड फैंग्स समझदारी ये थी कि वो ऑलरेडी जा चुके थे उस बैकअप प्लान के लिए रिकॉल का इस्तेमाल बट लीजिए रेकनिंग रियलिटी
kai tem na si bo
SLK के साथ कंफर्म
Jonathan jo lum jo lum ma sa ka ne na ngoi bhaiya ye
सरप्राइज करा
oh yeah
फिनिश ऑफ 2 एलिमिनेशंस यहां पर
mau sa wa ne lum ga eh oh yeah
जिम्मेदारी है उनके ऊपर थोड़ी देर पहले हमने वो इंटरव्यू देखा था उनको पता था कि टीममेट्स के साथ आराम से बातचीत करके हल मिल सकता है हर एक सिचुएशन का तो उम्मीद कर रहा हूं कि इस गेम के अंदर भी अच्छा खेले क्वांटम स्पार्क्स बट डक्स बात कर ही रहे थे
शोक्रो जिगdo dia
डक्स और अर्चित दोनों खिलाड़ी गिरते हुए और
mana na game to le mo changa ko mi da pa pa tha chale
दोनों खिलाड़ियों को कंफर्म करते हुए 2 और फ्रैग्स
Jonathan Fogi है
रिकॉल का इस्तेमाल करा जाएगा
Jonathan भैया what is going on भैया
ये जरूर मैंटी डैमेज देने में कामयाब लेकिन नॉट इनफ कलयुग समाप्त करते हुए और इन सारे के सारे फ्रैग्स को अपनी आंखों के सामने देखते हुए
कॉल की टीम ने यही करे
उसका फायदा उठा सकते हैं उठाएंगे भी फ्रैग और नूब को डाउन किया जाएगा बट वो मदद के लिए थे इंस्टेंट नॉक एंड फिनिश अरीब को करते हुए आसानी से अपने टीममेट को रिवाइव भी दे देंगे बट फिलहाल के लिए
औरा कलयुग इंग इंग जे जा ने तो अनु अंदर ढोक हम लाख माले
अपने लिए बटोरते हुए रेड बुल पावर जोन में काफी अच्छी शुरुआत यहाँ पे और
जोनी एपेक्स यावदा ने जोनी एपेक्स
अभी भी अगर आप देखें काफी अच्छी शुरुआत हो चुकी है उनके एंड क्वांटम स्पार्क के बीच में अब अंकों का फासला अगर आप देखें फिनिक्स इतना ज्यादा नहीं रहा है कवर अप किया जा सकता है बट वाइल्ड फैंग्स उनको भी एक अच्छी शुरुआत करनी पड़ेगी फिलहाल ये टीम जो है रेड बिट के काफी ज्यादा नजदीक है
ने यार मोय ngarang su ne ya da bai bom lang thoka ga pai lei bagi
नहीं कर सकते इस समय पे
complete tong na bai do
बट क्या बात
au dai ne ai ne ying ngai
मतलब मजा आ गया
moi an moi tournament sin li sin ne issue lei bagi bom di pai lang thoka ba ne chik khut si dum pai le ba bom do adogi
कैसे आपको इसका फायदा उठाना है यही
mangna
तरीका
bagi
तो
है खेलने का इस early Red Bull Power Zone
so ga te ka kamna bu ni ngai je je do ne so ga te ka kamna ngai de
दिक्कत आएगी
गाइस आई कनोदा मतलब तब पिन तोड़ को थंब किक की नेबा
चलिए एक नॉक ढूंढने में कामयाब दूसरा आपके पास चल के आ रहा है फ्रैगर रहेंगे वो
किक तो अब तो चंगा फॉलो तो संबिरो ने बताना
फ्रैगर के बारे में भूल गए नॉक निकाल
100 फॉलोवर तो यो हंगे तो ने यो गुम पे ले बूम की तो ओ
डॉच करा उसको और नाइट फंस चुके हैं पिन डाउन हो चुके हैं दो खिलाड़ियों के बीच में लेकिन नाइट समझदारी इसी में कि पीछे हटिए
आई पिन तो थंबने भाई ये आई ये किक की कनो लिंक तो
फ्रैगर
और हैप्पी चंगा को फॉलो तो संबिरो ने बताना
ज्यादा जरूरी समझा और 8 एलिमिनेशन नोवा ढूंढना चाहते जरूर है वहीं पर आउटरेज कलेक्ट कर रहे हैं बहुत
कितना है बताओ
एचपी समाप्त
इसकी तो बताओ क्यों नहीं ओ
नाइट का ये नेट परेशान कर सकते हैं इस्तेमाल करके नाइट आगे बढ़ना जरूर चाहेंगे बट स्पॉट हुए जरूर है
यहां तक आप ये ला मशीन की तो सोशन का ऑप्शन करना है भैया
खेल के दिखाया है 3 फिनिशेस टोटल 8 एलिमिनेशन नेट हालांकि नाइट के द्वारा कुक किया जा रहा है आउटरेज की टीम में नाइट भी वन ऑफ द बेस्ट असॉल्टर है
जोनी सी गया वो रिकॉर्ड हो गया
थर्ड पार्टी आते हुए जिसमें नाइट को नॉक एंड फिनिश भी करेंगे एंड फ्रैगर
नकुल जंगे नकुल
पोजीशन करना पड़ेगा
पहुंची है नकुल
एचपी नहीं है हेल्थ नहीं है नकुल जिस तरीके से एग्रेसिवली आगे बढ़ रहे हैं आई थिंक वहां से फॉल बैक करना वो सही था फ्रैगर नूब का क्योंकि ऑरा
जोनी सी गया तो रिवाइव होता हुआ
बॉटम ऑफ द लीडर बोर्ड पे है कोई भी रिस्क यहाँ पे जो है लेना नहीं चाहते हैं बट अभी तक ऑरा ने अपने रिकॉल फीचर का इस्तेमाल नहीं करा है ये भी एक एक्स्ट्रा एडवांटेज फिलहाल टीम ऑरा के पास है
और इसी चीज के साथ अगर आप स्टिक करें अर्ली एडवांटेज क्रिएट करें फिर उसके बाद फॉलो अप रखें
जोनी ये हुजी खुलोंग थोक तो वेरा काय है
पॉइंट्स बन सकते हैं एक्वानॉक्स इन सब के बीच में एक
माना गेम तो ले सो खसर कोई पागल ठजर नहीं वार
थोड़ी सी दिक्कत उनके लिए बनेगी जरूर तीन प्लेयर्स के साथ अब आपको बनना पड़ेगा आगे सर्कल
अब लाइक का ले जा को लाइक है कैन हो जा
टेस्ट ट्रैक स्टिल इनसाइड द जोन
ठीक है ओ सोना ले जेली वे सा अंगांग से मखा ले अंगांग से ये की मखा ले अंगांग से जोनी होई
वो एक परेशानी नहीं है शाडो
जेली लेडी
एक बार टीएजी के रोटेशन पे ध्यान दीजिए
जोनाथन जेली अरिकना में यो रेक्स बॉय ने में यो इतना
या फिर हमें क्लस्टर बनते हुए
कोच रेन की ओर ले मार
दे सकता है या फिर एक सदर्न साइड पे क्लस्टर बनते हुए
सोल लेजिट
बट फिलहाल टीम टीएजी
क्यों सोल लेजिट
पूरे क्लस्टर से काफी ज्यादा दूर हमें नजर आ रही है
मिंग सांग यो आईक्यू सोल नकुल हो गया
रोंडो के मैप के ऊपर लेके
आई की यूजर दो मैं अंबा नहीं 1 2 3 ना ले बने मतलब सुन ओके थैंक यू
अगर इनकी बात करें
जोनाथन का है ना
एक और टीम नजर आ रही है
मैं हम सीना वीडियो दा वायरल कर सकी वा
रेकनिंग इज आल्सो वन ऑफ दोस टीम रोमन का हमने इंटरव्यू देखा था इनको भी पॉइंट्स की सख्त आवश्यकता है
आया नहीं आयु या करना इन पाम बदी होई
नहीं चाहिए स्पेशली
मागी
जब
मागी एक्यूरेसी या पाम एक्यूरेसी मागी आई मागी कैनो कंट्रोल दो या पाम ले जो नहीं को माई द कैनो की मागी क्रॉसहेयर कंट्रोल दो अतई दी आई मो क्या
मेरे हिसाब से कभी भी वाइट वॉकर्स बाउंस बैक कर सकती है
कैनो रिकॉल हा पे सीधे रोंडो दे रिकॉल तुम जाओ
बात नहीं है इस गेम के अंदर
रोंडो दे रिकॉल तुम जाओ
पढ़ सकते 17 पोजीशन अभी के लिए जब बॉय स्प्रे
गोल लाइक टीम का जोनाथन में टीम का है आई दी गोल लाइक तो ने सपोर्ट हो कैनो द गोल लाइक तो साथी में प्लेयर नहीं आ रही
आपने अपने
लिए प्लेयर नहीं आ ये एडमिनो का एस पावर का नेबा साथी में प्लेयर नेबा मोई नहीं
घड़ी पर और
पता ना तेब
अगला जोन हमारे सामने नॉर्दर्न साइड की तरफ सदर्न साइड पे जमावड़ा फोर्स करेगा टीम्स को फाइट लेने के लिए और लीजिए
मुझे को भी एक ना तो चल ली
नॉकआउट होते हुए उभरता हुआ सितारा पता है कितना ज्यादा परेशान कर सकता है देखना बॉय
किलिन है
ये उल्टी गाड़ी चला रहे थे अब उल्टे पैर लॉबी में वापस जाना पड़ेगा
मनी हल्ला तो भाई में
नॉक एंड फिनिश 12वां फ्रैग बटोर चुकी है
सेवन गॉड्स आई वाले मैं कहूं
सीम्स लाइक आउटरीच
सेवन गॉड्स
हर एक चीज ऐसे ही कर रही है आउटरीच
अंदर डॉग मार
है जस्ट अर्निंग पॉइंट्स
एडमिनो दो बेरा काम नहीं है सोक में बाज ने बेरा काम
करते हुए हाइपर कैट्स
नहीं है लाई नहीं भाई जरा अभी कौन देंगे
नजर आ रही है स्पिरिट की बात करें बीस्ट एंड स्पिरिट दो आखिरी खिलाड़ी नजर आ रहे हैं
हां नहीं गोले नहीं हो तो कहीं खिला दे और मुझे कहते तो स्कॉट के दे और घूमता हूं
दक्ष एंड मॉन्स्टर आसानी है बट बीच में एक लाख निकाला जरूर है
स्कॉट के दे और घूमता हूं
पॉइंट सिक्योर करना जरूर चाहते हैं बट स्पिरिट लेट्स सी
सेंचुरी इशू बता रहा है
बिल्कुल विपरीत चाहते हुए क्योंकि अब अगर आप देखें बीच में अकेले बचे हैं
ओ यासू
करना काफी मुश्किल रहेगा बट ही गेट्स वन मोर क्या नहीं गेट जी नहीं बीस्ट को भी समाप्त किया जाएगा एक अच्छा प्रयास
Thokhe.
बीच की तरफ से जरूर देखने को मिला।
Jonathan hoy to one de lei husi poki soul na second de lei Jonathan na to one lei take na husi lei nari style je
बट आप बॉटम 2 टीम्स पे भी एक
lei
बार
nari
नजर
style
डालिए
je
फीनिक्स और
take
नॉर्दर्न
na
साइड से रोटेट कर रही है, बहुत उम्दा
one de
रोटेशन
lei
की
bi
तरफ
ne
से
to one
पूरा क्लस्टर सदर्न साइड
soul
पे
na
है
second de lei bi ne ba
जहां हमारी
that is a
वाइल्ड
point
फैंग्स की टीम
kano
है।
ka hum ka kena ga
सेंसे के लिए ये क्लस्टर में जीवित रहना काफी बड़ा
point hum
चैलेंज
ka
रहेगा।
kena ga ne to
शैडो इंटरेस्टिंग चीज ये कि जिस तरीके से क्वांटम स्पार्क्स ने अप्रोच दिखाई है, इट्स लुकिंग गुड, इट्स लुकिंग सॉलिड।
organ ben to sel se adune shotgun di dong ben to ga di ko
थोड़ा सा और स्टिक करे तो
wall fence kote ni nok sa to
ओहो शटडाउन हो सकते हैं कभी भी नॉक
wall
करा जा सकते
wall
हैं खिलाड़ी
fence
को। सरवाइव कर रहे थे लेकिन
ये
उनसे
मेरा
बचना नामुमकिन। लीजिए दूसरा फ्रैग फॉर 7 गॉड्स।
sina mu karam no sina mu India ki tournament ne darben sina Jonathan ho yaw India ga ta ki player sina Jonathan Soul
थोड़े बहुत
Jonathan hoy Soul Goblin hoy
पावर जोन का इतना
OR
फायदा नहीं उठा पाए 7
8 bit मैं am bi moi am ki tournament
अब अगर जागे हैं तो यहाँ से तो अच्छे पॉइंट्स बटोरिए। But on the other side,
Jonathan hoy no hit top lei ri hu ko gi Soul na second de lei point hum ka kena ga ne lei je Jonathan ga Soul ga moi
के पास 3 जॉन
Goblin ga moi
हाइड्रो थोड़ा
commentary gi di
शैडोज ब्लू
inde hey global na hian wa hey adu nei chik chik tro ai adu na ne ei sound yar ba ngi do
एक सेंट्रलाइज्ड
ei ke no to bai dai
इसके लिए ज्यादा उत्सुक।
एक बार ऑरा का
ei no
स्प्लिट
recall ha pro ai
फ्रैगर नूब न्यूयॉर्क फैक्ट्री में है, बाकी तीनों प्लेयर्स नॉर्दर्न साइड पे।
Jonathan hoy je zo ma pan lei ni to ya la ka do ni ne to re lan be jo ne team number si orange lei jo मतलब W wall fans की टीम जे wall fans की टीम ने काम ना रखा तो Jonathan होय
रोटेशन लिया जाएगा, उसमें टीम आईकू सोल गेट कीप कर सकती है। इवन द प्लेयर्स
wall fans की टीम ने काम ना रखा तो
एलीट नोवा को गेट कीप कर सकते हैं इस पूरे सिचुएशन में। द ट्रॉफी मैग्नेट जो एक समय पे
वहाँ तो ग्लोबल नहीं लिया ठीक है
बिल्कुल सेंटर ऑफ द
स्कॉर में दिखा वो देने स्कॉर होय की टीम जे सीधा या उस जाला खंगी
बहुत उम्दा रोटेशन, बहुत अच्छा
स्कॉर होय टीम
कंट्रोल
काम
भी है,
बनो सीधा खंगी
बट उस कंट्रोल के चलते उसको चिकन डिनर में
स्कॉर होय
कन्वर्ट
टीम
कर
दो
पाएंगे या
नो
नहीं।
XT है बने ये
मात्र 2 फिनिशेस हैं।
RNT है वो माले
चर्चा करेंगे
RNT है वो RNT है वो माले RNT तो याओ तो ते Jonathan तो चले W करो काम ना रे Jonathan तो चले
बैक एंड फोर ट्रेड एंड वाइट वॉकर्स पोजीशन एडवांटेज
भले इश मौन सा वाले
पोजीशन एडवांटेज से थोड़े से एक्स्ट्रा पॉइंट्स बटोर रहे हैं।
हाइड्रो ले
अनफॉर्चुनेट उनके लिए
जेली की फिनिश था रे फर्स्ट फिनिश था रे
कॉफिन फ्रॉम डिस्टेंस
Jonathan का कनो मारे तो Jonathan जी नॉक सारी
हाइड्रो क्या ग्रेनेड फेंका इस खिलाड़ी ने।
हाइड्रो की पर वो ग्रेनेड ना नॉक सा रहा है
ओपनिंग ढूंढ लिया इस समय अपने व्हाइट वॉकर्स के अगेंस्ट। अनुज हाइट एडवांटेज
उस पर ही नहीं ग्रेनेड तो
शानदार ग्रेनेड
हम कुछ ग्रेनेड बा
अकेले
जोने
ही
लोरे है
इसके ऊपर हावी होता हुआ एक खिलाड़ी। अनुज के बारे में अंदाजा स्पॉटेड, क्या 1v3 कर सकता है हाइड्रो
का हिस्सा थे,
अभी नहीं था
तब भी खेलते थे। अभी व्हाइट वॉकर्स के अंदर भी हम
अभी नहीं था
परफॉर्मेंस देख रहे हैं, बट बेहतर तो 7 गॉड्स को भी करना पड़ेगा। मात्र 2 एलिमिनेशंस
तीन नुमाई था 40 ने दी है मनुआ
रेकनिंग में नजर आएगी। इलीच नोवा
फाइट लोग को लोग
बात करी जाए, स्कैरी जॉर्ड इज देयर।
दिन हुआ भाई
फिलहाल में ऑफिशियल में बहुत बेहतर परफॉर्मेंस दिखा के आए हैं, एमवीपी बने हैं। इनके ऊपर भी ओवेस ने काफी ज्यादा भरोसा दिखाया है एंड इस भरोसे पे खरे भी उतर रहे हैं। माफिया की अगर बात करें, ये भी अलग अलग लाइनअप का हिस्सा रहे हैं। 2024-26 ऑफिशियल्स में पोडियम फिनिश करा है इस खिलाड़ी ने। एक स्टार स्टडेड लाइनअप जिसने फाइनली अपना असली रूप आज के दिन में दिखाया है, 2 बैक टू बैक चिकन निकाल के। बट फिलहाल इनको आउटरीच के सामने सर्वाइव
एक से कई दौरे है बना
कंपाउंड्स की तरफ, उनके एरिया की तरफ जिस तरीके से आगे
जोनियो शीघ्र वो जोनियो लॉन्ग थोक रहे
केयरफुली फाइट एग्जीक्यूट करनी पड़ेगी। बट ऑन द अदर साइड
जोनियो लॉन्ग थोक रहे
एक अच्छा नॉक निकालते हुए 20 टू हैज आल्सो बीन सिक्योर्ड।
परेशानी आने वाली यहां पर शैडो, क्योंकि इस समय पर ये एज की
हाँ याद है
और
हाँ याद है ब्रो
सकती है बिकॉज़ एलीट नोवा
किसी तरह में था एक तरह में नहीं किसी तरह में इन खले
भले अपने
छाउनी याद रहा है
देख रहे हैं वो एंगल क्लियर करना चाह रहे हैं, अपनी
किसी
साइड
तरह में जान खले
लेकिन के
हाँ
बाद
याद
ऐसी
रहा
टीम है कि जब उन्होंने धावा बोला आपको शायद अंदाजा ना हो कि
हाँ
कहां
याद
से
रहा
कौन सा प्लेयर
क्या
आ
है
सकता है।
नहीं
बहुत परेशानी आ सकती
किसी
है।
तो दे
जॉर्ड ऑन द अदर साइड स्पॉट हुए
किसी तो दे
नहीं निकला और ये सर्कल ओ ग्लैडिएटर्स कदमों
हाँ
में आया
किसी तो दे
है
या है
अभी भी क्या लीड है भाई।
YouTube तुम तो रिस्टार्ट हो गई है
और हर बार वो सर्कल वो फेर
किसी
बदल
तो
अपने
दो
ही
मान
पास
दे
एक और नॉक हलचल उस फिनिश फीड के अंदर भी
ये कैसे तो हम लोग
रेकनिंग
मान
को
देखो
सर्कल के अंदर जाना है व्हाइट वॉकर्स को सर्कल के अंदर जगह
상황에 대한 리스타트
जगह
보이는
बनानी
거야.
ईजी आईकू
아니 이 팀
सोल
전에 리스타트
बहुत
보이는
सारी ये टीम्स जिनको
야, 너무
आगे
많네.
जाके
이게
अपने लिए स्पेस बनानी है और उसमें से एक और टीम एलीट नोवा अगेंस्ट आउटरेज
देखिए डेस्ट्रो एक ऐसे खिलाड़ी हैं जो हमेशा नो मैटर
एस टीम जो सर थैंक यू बस हां तुंबा
टीम को सलामत सेंटर तक ले जाने में कामयाब हो जाते हैं बट फिलहाल तो आउटरेज
पॉइंट से कमाई काउंट हो इधर समान है ये पॉइंट काउंट हो गई वही करो वो ये
को भी समाप्त कर दिया
किल
जाएगा एक-एक करके
किल अमगी 1 पॉइंट विनर विनर चिकन डिनर चाबगी तारा
वेनम एंड स्कैरी जॉर्ड क्या ये
सेकंड ताबगी 8 पॉइंट
जी नहीं नाइट के सामने नहीं टिक पाएंगे स्लग स्कैरी जॉर्ज को
6
डाउन
पॉइंट
करेंगे
7 पॉइंट ला सबले
उसको भी समाप्त किया जाएगा आउटरेज
वो आर सिबो
ऑन अ रैम्पेज
वो आर नहीं ओरेंज वो आर माले
बट वेट अ मिनट आईकू सोल
स्लग को में को आर याओगे माले
एक अच्छा इनिशिएशन एक अच्छे
स्लग को जे ओ आर याओगे माले
शायद इस फाइट को कभी भी समाप्त करा जा सकता है
ओमेगा नाइट निंजा बॉय मुझे ओ आर याओगे माले
लेकिन नियो फिनिश ऑफ करते हुए अनुज 2OP को ड्रीम्स उनके भी सब
ngसाइगे से इंजाम मसाया और ngसाइगे इंजाम मसाया तो फाइनल चल रहे था
एलिमिनेशन
फाइनल चल रहे
पड़ेगा दिस इज नॉट गुड बट इन सबके बीच में सांटा उनके पास बहुत अच्छा एरिया है जिसको वो कंट्रोल करते हुए डोप नॉकड आउट वाइल्ड फैंग्स के कारण वो भी गए आउटरेज ने ऑलरेडी सर्कल के अंदर ऑलमोस्ट अपनी जगह बना ली है ज्यादा दूर नहीं है आपसे सर्कल तो उन्हें ज्यादा लंबी रोटेशन नहीं लेनी लेकिन 16 फ्रैग्स रुक नहीं रही है अभी भी आउटरेज मैसिव चिकन डिनर अगर यहां से निकलता है आउटरेज के लिए व्हाट अ स्लैम नाइट गाड़ी चढ़ा दी उन्होंने स्लैम उनके पास गए हैं वो दोनों फ्रैग टीम तबलाज देखते ही देखते सब उनका भी एलिमिनेशन क्या बढ़िया गाड़ी चलाते हैं भाई स्लग
डिफेंडिंग चैंपियंस जब एग्रेशन पे आते हैं तो इसी तरीके के परिणाम आते हैं 18 फिनिशेस
सनाना सनादी बिजमाई सु अतोपा
अगर बात करें
लमना
फैंग्स
येंगबदा नुंगाई
गदा डोमिनेट कर रही है
सनाना
जिसको अंकों की
के
इतनी आवश्यकता थी मात्र 3 फिनिशेस
मोई डिवाइस पी वो कम की मोई दी आइडिया लेके
हो चुके हैं
पर मैं आई किसी गिव अवे की से किक जे मतलब कि किक जॉइन तौर का थम बने किक पिन तौर का
8 अंकों का फासला है दोनों की तरफ से मात्र एक ही खिलाड़ी जीवित है
तो संबिरो मने
किसी तरीके से तक सरवाइव कर जाते हैं 7 गॉड्स हैज बीन एलिमिनेटेड ये एक मेजर ओपनिंग विंडो है और ई स्पोर्ट्स के आखिरी खिलाड़ी के लिए
200 फॉलोअर या होता की हवे तो
फोकस करके कुछ अच्छे बेहतर
जोड़े नकुल सोल काम करे
आईकू सोल
सोल काम करे और वाल गाजलो ने क्लासिक की तरह वाल गाजलो ने
के टीममेट लेजेट नॉकड आउट है रिवाइव की जरूरत रहेगी थोड़ा सा फॉल बैक करके अपने आप को हील करके रिवाइव देना चाहेंगे बट ऑन द अदर साइड
जोनाथन तुम यार मैंने याओ जरा था याओ अरे मैं तो नाम है नो सीना इंडिया की तो नाम है
आईकू सोल के बहुत सारी परेशानियां खड़ी हो सकती हैं
शुभ एक
BGMS एमएस साइबर बनवा
तो कंफर्म होगी लेकिन नकुल भी कर सकते हैं लेकिन शुभ
तो भी कना याओ सोल गिलो में याओ
की चादर के पीछे छिपे खिलाड़ी
हो सोल नकुल गॉब्लिन
फोर्स आउट करेगा
जोकर
बाहर निकलने के लिए आपको अपने कंफर्टेबल एरिया से और याद रखिए सर्कल आपसे दूर है 100 मीटर से भी ज्यादा एक छोटी गलती और एलिमिनेशन फेस करिए नौ टीमें अभी भी हमारे पास के अंदर आउटरेज 2 खिलाड़ियों के साथ अभी भी जीवित कलयुग फिनिश ऑफ होते हुए स्किप्स के ग्रेनेड से लेजेंड गॉट नॉकड डाउन ईजी डिस्टेंस से परेशान करते हुए आईकू सोल को एचपी नहीं भागना पड़ेगा और एलिमिनेशन फेस करती हुई और पॉइंट्स कमाए जा सकते थे इस गेम से लेकिन अभी के लिए इन्हीं पॉइंट्स के साथ संतुष्ट होना पड़ेगा आपको
इनफ तो नहीं है और ई स्पोर्ट्स टीवीएस रेडर विकेट बैटल जब क्वालिफिकेशन की बात थी ये टीम डोमिनेट कर रही थी वांटेड की अगर बात करें इतना ज्यादा एक्सपीरियंस ये खिलाड़ी लेके आता है
सो करना ये आपके
ओ बट फिलहाल तो टीम क्रिएट करके शुभ उनको डाउन किया जाएगा नकुल के द्वारा इजी कंफर्मेशन सिक्योर्ड सांता ई स्पोर्ट्स वर्सेस गो सोलो क्वांटम स्क्वाड्स ब्लिंक इट एंड यू मिस इट वही हुआ क्वांटम स्पार्क के साथ आसानी से सांता ई स्पोर्ट्स उनको समाप्त करते हुए एंड सडनली इफ यू नोटिस फीनिक्स सांता ई स्पोर्ट्स आज के दिन में काफी ज्यादा बेहतर खेल रही है
डेफिनेटली सर्कल प्रायोरिटाइज कर रहे हैं धैर्य के साथ खेल रहे हैं और एग्रेशन नहीं दिखा रहे हैं और उसी के चलते आपके पास पॉइंट्स भी आ रहे हैं लेकिन आउटरेज के ओमेगा वो नॉक होते हुए याद रखिए शाडो यहाँ पर जिम्मेदारी उनके ऊपर भी है क्योंकि 18 फिनिशेस आउटरेज इस समय पर निकाल चुके। दैट्स अ मैसिव नंबर और स्लग का बहुत बड़ा हाथ उस फिनिश टैली को बढ़ाने का और स्लग खुद नॉक हो चुके हैं। परेशानी नाइट अब उनके ऊपर जिम्मेदारी। ओमेगा वो भी गिरते हुए। नाइट ग्रेनेड को करा जरूर गया लॉबस्टर के बिल्कुल पास। गाड़ी ने पनाह दे दी उनको।
Sina BGMI sana tournament India की
के लिए डिनाई करी गई है उनके द्वारा।
India की tournament BGMI sana
नाइट एक और ग्रेनेड काम करेगा। राल्फी नॉक होते हुए बट दैट्स अ डिफरेंट वन, दैट्स अ डिफरेंट टीम। जस्टिन है वो डिस्टेंस से जो कि ईजी को पनिश करते हुए सैंडविच हो चुके हैं नाइट। लॉबस्टर को गिराने में कामयाब। लॉबस्टर कंफर्म करे जाएंगे।
Omega वो ये टीम
स्टील करा
Punjab वो ये
फिनिश। एगी और अरीब के ऊपर
टीम तक ये हिंद बना था नो इधर हिंद गए
वो भी फिनिश ऑफ विद जोकर। अभी भी लड़ रहा है ये प्लेयर।
कोशिश प्रयास किया जा रहा है। नो
सोलो में गलत पीने वो वाड़ी
मैप में काफी ज्यादा साइलेंट रही थी टीम
अंगड़ा तो ले जो
के ऊपर काफी एग्रेसिव
135 लग गए 16 133 लग गए
सीमित है बट दो खिलाड़ी भी कई बार काफी रहते हैं जिस तरीके से जोकर
वाड़ी ने
खुद के ऊपर वॉली फेंक ली।
अजय ने जोकर ने तो सभी ने
परेशान हुए। जोकर फायदा उठाना चाहते थे बट साहिल टीम आईकू सोल उनकी अंकों में बढ़ोतरी होते हुए 10 फिनिशेस टीम से हमने जताई थी।
विनर प्राइस क्या है? सीडी विनर प्राइस सी जो ला पूरा मनी ले रहा हूँ। सीडी आई
एक बार अगर आप ओवरऑल रैंकिंग देखिए 5वें पायदान पे आउटरीच एक खिलाड़ी जीवित, आईकू सोल 2, दोनों के बीच में सिर्फ 1 पॉइंट का डिफरेंस, 1 पॉइंट का डिफरेंस। दैट्स इट। नाइट सफिशिएंट कवर है इस खिलाड़ी के पास। सर्कल के अंदर है आप। परेशानी ये है कि आपके पीछे आईकू सोल और आपके सामने ईजी, दो ऐसी टीमें जो कि आपको इतनी आसानी से जीवित रहने नहीं देंगी। और इन सारी फाइट्स के बीच में सैंटा को सर्कल के अंदर आना है। ग्लैडिएटर्स ने अपनी जगह बना के रखी हुई है। टॉप 5 10 फिनिशेस आईकू सोल एंड जोकर। एक ऐसा खिलाड़ी है जो कि जाना जाता है उन क्लचेस के लिए, जो कि जाना जाता है वो हीरो मूवमेंट्स के लिए।
मसागे अकाउंट आप तो माले सीधी खंगी सीधी मसागे और दो माले सीधी मसागे और दो माले सी अकाउंट
परेशानी हो सकती है सैंटा के लिए ये एंट्री।
अरे मैं सेनरी बदे से मारा दे तो
जिस तरीके से कंट्रोल इन्होंने कंपाउंड्स का बना के रखा हुआ है काफी सारी टीम को पनिश कर सकते हैं बट पनिशर उनको कोई और क्या पनिश करे, वो खुद को ही पनिश कर रहे हैं।
यार साथ दिन
काफी अच्छा स्प्रे नियो का डैमेज काफी सारा था बट वो हार्ड कवर मदद कर रहे हैं, उसके चलते अपने आप को हील कर लेंगे बट अल्फा आप ओपन में आने की गलती नहीं कर सकते। सामने ग्लैडिएटर्स के प्लेयर है, बहुत सटीक रहता है जिस तरीके से एगी को यहाँ पे जस्टिन नॉक एंड फिनिश करेंगे। ईजी की परेशानियां काफी ज्यादा बढ़ते हुए। नाइट हालांकि स्पॉट हो चुके हैं।
हाइड्रा याओ डायनामो है याओ दे
कोशिश कर रहे हैं वो
डायनामो दी तो अपने कॉम्पिटिटिव सांग
कनेक्शन इज देयर।
हाइड्रा याओ
आउटरीच 5वें स्थान पे एलिमिनेट हुई है।
मुझे क्वालीफाई हो गया
फिनिशेस आई थिंक हद से ज्यादा उम्मीदें जो थी उससे ऊपर ही काम करके गए हैं इस मैप पे।
वाजु लोए ग्रे सोल ले होरी सोल के नहीं ले होरी
पार की नजर है क्या बात है भाई। नकुल को गिराने सक्षम जोकर भी स्पॉटेड है। टॉप 4 हमारे सामने लेकिन जस्टिन जब ये खिलाड़ी कंपाउंड के ऊपर चढ़ के खेला है तब जीना मुश्किल करा है इन्होंने अपने प्रतिद्वंदियों का। नकुल अबाउट टू ब्लीड आउट।
गोल लाइक ना
जोकर ब्लू जोन में फोर्स कर रहे हैं कि आगे बढ़िए।
अमा दो ये मगर सी ये मुझे कहना तो
जाए तो जाए कहां।
अमा दो ये मगर सी ये तो कई खाओगे मैं ना साथ रहो
ऑलमोस्ट
कहना तो ना
नकुल
स्टाइल
has been confirmed
गेम स्टाइल के कहना तो
जिसमें से 5 जस्टिन के पास।
काफी हद तक ग्लैडिएटर्स को फेवर कर रहे हैं। जब तक साथ देगा उनके हाथ से ये चिकन छीनना आसान रहेगा नहीं। टीम ईजी मात्र एक खिलाड़ी पे सीमित है। आईकू सोल एक ही खिलाड़ी पे सीमित है।
याम प्रोफेशनल ओइदो स्टाइल में तवे वो सीधी वार से
ओपन में आएंगे।
BMW C याव दे आ BMW C वार BMW C याव वो BMW C याव दे मुझे
परेशान करना स्टार्ट करेगा। नेड इनकी दिशा में आ रहे हैं, इसका मतलब पोजीशन
रोमेज का वाली के खंग दी
रोमेज हो सकती है पर फिलहाल तो अपने लिए वो हल्का सा डिप का कवर
रोंदो सिदी अहामबदा सानाबनेबा मैच अमा नतर अनी शू सानाबने रोंदो से तो मुझे
कंटेंडर
मुझे पता साना रही है कहीं खंग दी
जीडीआर ही नजर आ रहे हैं। मैंने हमेशा ये कही है जब भी फाइनल सर्कल में डेस्ट्रो के पास में एक अच्छा पोजीशन होता है उससे चिकन डिनर छीनना बहुत कठिन होता है। ये चीज डेस्ट्रो ने बहुत बार प्रूव करके दिखाई है बट फिलहाल तो मात्र 3 टीम बची हैं। आइको सोल के नकुल स्पॉट हुए, उनको भी समाप्त करा गया। 8 एलिमिनेशन एंड ग्लैडिएटर्स काफी स्ट्रॉन्ग अभी भी नजर आ रहे हैं। बहुत सारा इंफॉर्मेशन भी है इनके पास।
वो सांटा के लिए मुश्किल है क्योंकि सर्कल ऑलरेडी आपको फोर्स कर रहा है और जो चोक पॉइंट्स हैं उनके ऊपर बार-बार ये फायर कर रहे हैं। जस्टिन के पास गोलियां नहीं बची उनकी एयूजी के अंदर, सिर्फ 23, लेकिन काफी है। ये खिलाड़ी ऐसा है कि इस एक स्प्रे में एटलीस्ट एक प्लेयर तो बड़े आराम से गिरा सकते हैं। तो जस्टिन थोड़ी सी जरूरत हेल्प चाहिए। अग्रेसिव चाहिए, आगे बढ़ के खेलिए, नजदीकियां बढ़ानी पड़ेंगी। 9वां स्टेज ब्लू जोन अगले 3 सेकंड में चालू होगा। अरीब काबिलिए तारीफ भाई, खिलाड़ी अभी भी अपनी जगह बनाने में सक्षम, लेकिन शैडो अब होने वाला है असली प्रहार। अब आएगा असली मजा क्योंकि अरीब पार्टी खराब कर सकते हैं पूरी सांटा की।
जी हाँ, सांटा के लिए परेशानियां आ सकती है। नियो के नेट से एडोनिस को ना सिर्फ नॉक बल्कि फिनिश भी किया जाएगा। बट अरीब की आपने बात करी थी, पनिशमेंट करा, समाप्त करा, बट खुद भी प्लेस होते हुए ये नेट परेड सांटा को बहुत परेशान करेगी। कॉफिन कोशिश कर सकते हैं नियो रूफटॉप पे, बट अल्फा को भी डाउन किया जाएगा। नियो के द्वारा कॉफिन उनको भी स्पॉट किया गया। एस्कॉर्ट्स ग्लैडिएटर्स जिस तरीके से आगे बढ़ के सांटा को समाप्त करेंगे। ग्लैडिएटर्स चिकन डिनर, बहुत कंसिस्टेंट परफॉर्मेंस इस टीम की तरफ से।
आज डेस्ट्रो आए हैं और चेहरे पे मुस्कान भी लाए हैं और गर्मा गर्म वो चिकन डिनर भी। व्हाट अ गेम मैन, रोंडो का ये मैप, मजा आ गया। काबिले तारीफ सांटा की भी, थोड़ा सा होल्ड करा, थोड़ा सा शांत दिखे फाइनल सर्कल के अंदर, लेकिन उससे पहले तक सभा बांध दिया था। बट ग्लैडिएटर्स, जस्टिन, गोलियां खत्म हुई और सामने वालों की उम्मीदों भी। क्या बढ़िया खेला। आई थिंक सो ही विल बी द एमवीपी, प्रोबेबली स्लग छीन सकते हैं, बट व्हाट डू यू थिंक सॉल्टी? आपके हिसाब से वन ऑफ द फाइनेस्ट।
एब्सोल्युटली, आई मीन मैंने सीजन 2 से देखा है और सीजन 2 की झलकियां तो हमको सीजन 5 में एक बार फिर से। जस्टिन बने थे एमवीपी, डेस्ट्रो थे डेल्टा, ग्लैडिएटर्स था नाम। गूज़बम्प्स आपको आ रहे गूज़बम्प्स, आई एम प्रीटी श्योर दर्शकों को भी आएगा, बिकॉज ये गेम था वैसा। ग्लैडिएटर्स को जरूरत थी एक बढ़िया लीड की, एंड ऑफ कोर्स उसी के साथ ये रोंडो का मैप उनके लिए कितना बढ़िया प्रूव करता हुआ। टीम सोल की अगर हम बात करें, काफी अच्छे फिनिशेस निकले थे। उसके साथ साथ टीम आउटरेज ने भी काफी धमाका मचाया था। बट कूडोस टू जस्टिन, कूडोस टू ग्लैडिएटर्स, एंड ऑफ कोर्स बातचीत करनी पड़ेगी और बातचीत करने के लिए हमारे होस्ट सुरेन जुड़ेगी ग्लैडिएटर्स ऑन द स्टेज।
यार एक और चिकन डिनर फॉर जीडीआर। जस्टिन, तुम्हारी जो यूजुअल बेंच है उसमें भी तुम किसी को उठा के ले आते हो, आज जीत जाते हो, कैसे यार?
दशो तो एक्सपीरियंस है ही, उसको आदत है, कुछ नहीं है इसके लिए बेंच वगैरह पे बैठना, हाथ गर्म रहता है उसका पूरा टाइम।
भाई एक बार डैप तो कर दे। यार डेस्ट्रो वहां बैठा हुआ था कल ऑडियंस में, रॉबिन के साथ चिल कर रहा था, हमारी बात हुई, एंड यू सेड आई एम रादर हैप्पी सिटिंग हियर देन विद द बॉयज देयर प्लेइंग दिस। लेकिन वापस आया, वो क्या डायलॉग है कि आया हूं तो कुछ तो लेकर जाऊंगा।
अरे मैं तो यहाँ भी चिल ही कर रहा था इस मैच में ज्यादा कुछ किया नहीं, इन्होंने सब कर दिया।
Listen, elimination का खतरा तो आप पे डेफिनेटली नहीं मंडरा रहा है, बट जस्ट वांटेड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि यहाँ पे अब फिलॉसफी क्या है। डू यू वांट टू टेक द लॉन्ग रूट, आप लीग वीक वाले रास्ते से आगे बढ़ना चाहते हैं, या सुपर वीकेंड जो है दैट कुड बी ऑन द रेडार?
मतलब ऑनेस्टली इतना सोचा ही नहीं हमने। वी आर हियर टू एंजॉय आवरसेल्व्स, मज़ा आ रहा है खेलने में, मेरे को भी बहुत टाइम बाद खेल रहा हूँ, मज़ा आ रहा है, तो देखा जाएगा जो भी है, पॉइंट्स आ रहे हैं, बढ़िया है।
Alright, one question on the fact that Delta is not here, क्योंकि Delta जो है वो कल यहाँ पे आपकी जगह पे बैठे हुए थे, and you guys were good then, you're good now, लेकिन इस तालमेल के बारे में बताओ यार डेस्ट्रो, कि it doesn't matter कि कौन खेल रहा है कौन नहीं खेल रहा है, ओवरऑल चाहे आप उधर बैठे हैं यहाँ बैठे हैं, आप लोगों के बीच की केमिस्ट्री इतनी कमाल है that it's go time right from the time the match starts.
I mean, yeah, because सीजन 1 से हम साथ में हैं, मैं, जस्टिन, डेल्टा, रॉबिन भी, एंड नियो को भी हमारे साथ 2 साल हो गए हैं, एको भी इतना टाइम हमारे साथ पहले रहा हुआ है, इवन तो हम सेम टीम में नहीं थे, तो बॉन्ड वगैरह बहुत अच्छा ही है हमारा इन दी एंड, एंड वही चीज़ गेम में रिफ्लेक्ट होती है।
ज़्यादा चिल वैसे नियो कौन कर रहा था, यू और हिम?
ज़्यादा क्या?
ज़्यादा चिल कौन कर रहा था इस मैच में?
सभी चिल थे, मतलब कुछ ऐसा प्रेशर था ही नहीं, पता था सेंटर आ रखा है, बस चिकन कन्वर्ट करना है।
Smiling faces, GDR, consecutive days, एक और chicken dinner, back to the boys at the desk.
देखिए चिलिंग यहाँ पे चलती रहेगी जीडीआर के कैंप पे जब तक
ULF
कि
na
हाथ में
first
numbers आते रहेंगे।
hore
But of course,
global
numbers
की
तो बहुत सारे
1000
teams लेके गई थी और उनके बारे में भी बात करना पड़ेगा। सबसे पहले बात करना चाहूंगा मैं आउटरीच के बारे में, बिकॉज बिफोर गोइंग अहेड मैंने देखा था वो नंबर 18। What do you have to say about this aggressive performance? क्या ये रोंडो मर्चेंट्स है या ये एक ऐसी टीम है जिसको लय प्राप्त हो चुकी है?
आई थिंक कॉन्फिडेंस लय प्राप्त हो चुकी है, मोमेंटम सेट है, इतने अंक बटोर चुके हैं, किसी भी तरीके का प्रेशर नहीं है। एंड हमें पता है ओमेगा एंड द बॉयज जब वो प्रेशर कंधों से हट जाता है तो इसी तरीके का परफॉर्मेंस आता है। एंड आई थिंक आउटरेज तो डिजर्व करती है सारी तारीफें। आई थिंक इस बार आइको सोल उन्होंने बहुत बेहतर खेला है। पिछले मीरा मार की अगर बात करें काफी स्लो पेस था, ज्यादा फिनिशेस नहीं बटोर रहे थे, काफी पोजीशन के लिए खेल रहे थे, बट दिस टाइम दे आर गोइंग फॉर द फिनिशेस।
I mean, they are going for the finishes and of course उसके वजह से उनका एक खिलाड़ी हमारे stars of the match पे feature होता हुआ it is going to be none other than the IGL himself नकुल, जिनको मिलता हुआ best companion का tag। और जब going all out की बात करते हैं यहाँ पे slug 7 finishes 1010 का damage Phoenix, that is a commendable performance। हम बात कर रहे थे कि सिर्फ नाइट कैरी कर रहे थे, निंजा बॉय स्लग चल रहे थे, निंजा बॉय का एक गेम चला, स्लग का एक गेम चला। मुझे लगता है ये लोग हमको ना सुन रहे।
10 on 10 performance by the way, 10 on 10। But again, slug यही चीज है, I think so, जैसे कि आपने कहा सुन रहे, because हर किसी का ना चाहिए कि भाई थोड़ी हमारी भी तारीफ करो। हम भी टीम में कब तक एक प्लेयर की आप वो तारीफें करते रहेंगे, बट स्लग owns the lobby man, जिस तरीके से खेला है मजा आ गया इस पूरे गेम को देखने में। और आउटरीच जब आप रोंडो की तरह खेलते हैं ना, यू जस्ट वांट अर्ली कर्फुफल, यू जस्ट वांट वो अर्ली फाइट्स, और आप चाहो कि उन सारी की सारी फाइट्स जीत के रेड बुल पावर जोन का भी फायदा उठाओ, तो ऐसा परफॉर्मेंस देखने को मिलता है। एक चीज जो कि मुझे पर्सनली सबसे अच्छी ये लगी कि जैसा कि शाडो ने भी मेंशन करा, आइकू सोल उनकी भी अप्रोच वैसी थी, जस्ट गो एंड फ्रैग आउट। लेकिन उसके विपरीत अगर आप एक स्टोरी लाइन सैंटा की देखो, ज्यादा फाइट्स नहीं बट कैलकुलेटेड फाइट्स। एक टीम से एक ही टाइम पे भिड़ रहे हैं, दो टीमों से नहीं भिड़ना, क्योंकि अगेन फायदा नहीं है, क्या पता आपके ऊपर बैकफायर कर जाए चीजें। तो उनका भी गेम टैक्टिकली अच्छा।
इनफैक्ट ये चीज तो हमने आउटरेज की टीम से बहुत ज्यादा देखी है। ओमेगा जब रोंडो शुरुआत में आया हुआ करता था, जब रोंडो में वो हर एक टीम इनिशियल कोलिशन के लिए जानी जाती थी, ओमेगा एंड द बॉयज यूज्ड टू बी लाइक चिल, हमको रिकॉल से फर्क नहीं पड़ता, हम अपना नेचुरल गेम खेलेंगे, इनिशियल फाइट से दूर रहेंगे, चारों खिलाड़ी जीवित रखेंगे फाइनल सर्किल तक और वहां जाके मारेंगे। मुझे पता नहीं क्या बदला, बट कुछ बदल चुका है अभी इस आउटरेज की टीम में, जहाँ पे का रेज में रुक नहीं रहा है। और ऑफ कोर्स अब बंदे गिराते हुए जा रहे हैं। और अभी हमने देखा वाइल्ड फैंग्स के अगेंस्ट क्या कन्वर्जन। आई स्टिल फील वाइल्ड फैंग्स ना खतरे से अभी तक हटी नहीं है। शैडो आई थिंक अभी तक एट दिस पॉइंट 24 सोच के आए थे कि शायद आज मोमेंटम पकड़ेंगे, एक अच्छा मैच गया था, इट्स अ स्टेप इन द राइट डायरेक्शन, ऑल ऑफ दैट हैज फेल्ड।
आई थिंक ये सबसे सही टाइम था जब सेंसे एंड द बॉयज थोड़ा सा एग्रेसिव जा सकते थे। पिछली बार फिनिश कार्ड यूज करा, फिनिशेस नहीं है, इस बार रोंडो पे उम्मीद थी एग्रेसिव जा सकते, अभी भी वो पोजीशन के लिए खेलना मुझे लगता नहीं कि वो सही डिसीजन है। कल के दिन पे किसी भी तरीके से टू लेट। आई थिंक आज का दिन ऐसा था जहाँ पे आप एक्सपेरिमेंट कर सकते थे, एग्रेसिव जा सकते थे। एंड मैं थोड़ी सी निराश भी हूँ क्योंकि ऑरा ने फिर भी प्रयास करा, काफी अच्छे फिनिशेस निकाले, काफी अच्छे रोटेशन दिखाए, बट वाइल्ड फैंग्स की तरफ से वो चीजें कंप्लीटली मिसिंग थी।
एंड डेफिनेटली मैं औरा की भी तारीफ करना चाहूंगा बिकॉज उन्होंने भी काफी सारे फिनिशेस निकाले। सैंटा ई स्पोर्ट्स की तो बात करनी पड़ेगी बिकॉज ऑफ कोर्स आई थिंक जब सैंटा ई स्पोर्ट्स सैंटा नहीं थे, जब ये टीम अल्फा के नाम से जाने जाते थे, दैट वाज द बेस्ट फेज फॉर टीम सैंटा ई स्पोर्ट्स। बट अब हमारे सामने मैच रैंकिंग्स भी आ चुके हैं। मैच नंबर 16 रोंडो, और वहां पे आउटरेज निकाले 32 टोटल अंक। इट्स नॉट अ बैड परफॉर्मेंस एट ऑल। और जीडीआर की अगर हम बात करें, चिकन डिनर तो है जरूर उनके पास, बट 20 अंक फिनिक्स।
12 पॉइंट्स का डिफरेंस है भाई, 12 पॉइंट्स का डिफरेंस सिर्फ आपने वो फिनिश पॉइंट से ही बना दिया है। एंड दैट्स द ब्यूटी ऑफ रोंडो, दैट्स द ब्यूटी ऑफ रेड बुल पावर जोन। बट टू बी ऑनेस्ट ऑन द अदर साइड, आइकू सोल भी 19 पॉइंट के साथ आते हुए, सैंटा 17 पॉइंट फार्म करे हैं, औरा ने भी सिमिलर फार्म करते हुए 17 पॉइंट्स ईजी। अब ये ना छुपे उस समय हमेशा, जैसे कि आपने कहा था कि दिख जाते हैं भाई खिलाड़ी, दिख जाते हैं लॉबस्टर जैसे खिलाड़ी है, यू हैव अरीब एंड राल्फी टू, बट ये ना बहुत ज्यादा फ्लैशी प्ले नहीं दिखाते, बट इफेक्टिव प्ले दिखाते हैं। दैट्स द ब्यूटी ऑफ ईजी।
देखिए फ्लैशी प्लेस तो हमारे दूसरे पन्ने में भी बहुत सारी टीम्स दिखाती है, बट आज एटलीस्ट इस एक मैप ऑफ रोंडो में वो चीज चली नहीं। हम बात कर रहे टीम एपेक्स गेमिंग की, अंकुर के पास 8-bit के पास है 8, टीम तमिलास के पास है 7। टीम तमिलास को क्या हो गया ऑल ऑफ अ सडन? आई थिंक पहले दिन पे टीम तमिलास का बेस्ट परफॉर्मेंस आया था, उसके बाद से वो कंसिस्टेंसी हल्की सी नीचे आते हुए देखिए, इट्स लाइक अ डाउनवर्ड कर्व एंड टीम तमिलास उससे उभर नहीं पा रहे।
देखिए रोंडो तो स्ट्रेंथ नहीं है, टीम तमिलास यूजुअली हम जो ओजी मैप्स है रैंगल मीरामार उस पे ही शाइन करते हुए नजर आती है, एंड क्योंकि ओवरऑल लीडर बोर्ड में काफी बेहतर स्थान पे है तो मुझे लगता नहीं टीम तमिलास को अभी कोई चिंता करने की जरूरत है, दे कैन स्टिल बाउंस बैक।
चलिए, आपने जब ओवरऑल स्टैंडिंग्स की बात कर दी, हमारे प्रोड्यूसर ने ओवरऑल स्टैंडिंग्स ला दिया। जेनेसिस ई-स्पोर्ट्स अभी भी सबसे ऊपर, टीम सोल क्लाइंब करते हुए 4 पोजीशन क्लाइंब के एक गेम के अंदर 139 पॉइंट्स उनके पास, रेवेन्यू टेक्स पार्क के पास है 136। आप बात कीजिए आउटरेज की, आउटरेज ने भी यहाँ पे दिखा दिया दमखम। कल के दिन पे हम बात कर रहे थे कि जेनेसिस THG ने एक बहुत बड़ा कमबैक किया, आउटरेज ने भी आई थिंक एटलीस्ट 10 पायदान तो स्किप करके सीधा पहले बनने पे आ चुके। K9 Esports, Rapid Chaos, THG, GDR, बट ये अंकों का जो मामला है ना, आसमान छूता हुआ जा रहा है। मैं जानना चाहूंगा सिलसिला कैसा है, because that is where the collisions are going to begin. Zero Arc Visista, टीम तमिलास और 11 टीम 12 टीम है फिनिक्स जो 100 का आंकड़ा पार कर चुके हैं।
ये बहुत अच्छी बात है कि एटलीस्ट कॉम्पिटिशन दिख रहा है कि वो रॉकेट टफ है। एलीट नोवा ने 2 चिकन डिनर निकाली, ये भी हमें रखना पड़ेगा ध्यान में, और 23 टोटल बोनस पॉइंट है। मेरी बात हुई थी आज बेरॉन से, मैंने पूछा था आप कितना सोच के चल रहे हो टॉप 16 का कट ऑफ क्या होगा, उन्होंने बोला था भाई 120 से 130 पॉइंट्स में लेके चल रहा हूं, तो उसके हिसाब से दिस इज गोइंग गुड। बट सैंटा के पास ना अभी भी गेम्स की एडवांटेज है, नेबुला के लिए थोड़ी दिक्कत है। अब ये आखिरी पेज इंपॉर्टेंट, क्योंकि अभी भी 2 मैचेस बचे हैं और आने सिर्फ एक पोजीशन का जंप लगाया है। वाइल्ड फैन स्टिल 55 पे आज के दिन की शुरुआत 23 पॉइंट्स के साथ।